Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Football Talk Podcast. My name's Ozzy, and I'm your host for this evening. I'm sure a lot of us fans are feeling deflated based on recent results, in particular that Forest game. But you know, the saying. We go again, and unfortunately, it's not taking that long for us to go again. It's 48 hours, and we've got another game. Probably not regarded as a high sort of priority to some, but nonetheless, it's still an important game for Liverpool as we'll be facing PSV in the Champions League tomorrow. I thought it's only right that I bring on a special guest and get his take on current situations, and of
Come
course,
on.
this game together as well. And that is Double D. Double D, big up, bro. How are you doing today?
Oh, that's what's going on, man. I'm all right, brother. You good?
All good, man. All good considering what's going on with Liverpool.
Outside of football, because our club is depressing us. You get me?
All good, man. All good. Other than football, but yeah, let's talk about football. So I
do,
have
do
to
we
get
have,
your take
do we have to?
on
Can't
the.
we do? Can't we do wrestling or something? No,
You know, I'd love to, but I need to get your take as well because I did a show yesterday about potential candidates, and some fans might have thought I jumped the gun there, but I just feel very frustrated with the whole
I
situation.
was not. I was locked in, bro. I was locked in.
Yeah,
I had to put the wrestling on the background because the show was much longer than I thought it was going to be. You get me?
same here.
So
I thought do you know what, I thought I was going to do a quick 1 hour show, but I was like, do you know what, the people want to talk about it, and yeah, and rightly so. And you know, and even on Sunday, I went on a bit of a rant, which I don't normally do. I had to tell the people, look, I'll read your comments later on. Bear with me. Let me just get things off my chest because there was a lot that needed to be said. And I'm frustrated. And, I've been patient, as you know, with the coach. I thought let him get a bit of time. He's got credit in the bank for winning the league in his first season. But I'm not seeing any progression whatsoever. It's the same old, week in, week out. He's had three international breaks to try and come up with a new solution. There was rumors to suggest that we were going to switch up to a 3-5-2 formation to accommodate the likes of Isak and Ekitike. That never came about. So give me your take on the whole Arne Slot situation. Firstly, are you slot in, slot out? And what do you think Liverpool needs to do going forward to try and improve things from the result front?
how long you got?
Bro, the mic is there. You have as long as you need, my friend. Express
No,
yourself.
I'm playing. I don't. I'm conflicted. I'm conflicted
Mm,
because we're not really a club that just go and axe people.
yeah,
But if it was to happen now, I know they won't because he's got leverage because obviously he's just won the league title. You get what I'm saying? But
yeah,
we're just a mess at the moment, and that's an understatement. That's putting it mildly, because you spoke mainly. You were the main one. Another of my friends, Jamil, used to talk about it as well, right?
yeah,
But he's in. I used to work with him. He's in the Liverpool group that we're in as well, right? But even when we were winning, you were frequently pointing out that he's too transparent in his
yes,
post-match interviews, even sometimes
yes,
even before the game, right?
yeah,
And yeah, pre-match press conferences and his post-match interviews too
yeah,
transparent, but it's all good because we were winning, yeah. But you're telling beforehand, you're saying what the issues are. You're
yes.
and so then teams will know how to set up against us, which is why I'm very surprised at the way Villa. I'm thankful because we got the 3 points, but I'm surprised at how Villa played
They never
against
did it.
us because
Yeah,
they tried to pass it around. That's what we want you to do. So we can intercept,
yes,
play between the lines, and we'll beat you, and we beat them. Yeah, same Madrid tried to do as well, but the issues are aerially. The issues are when teams are they're too physical for us, which seems mad considering the way that we went 26 games unbeaten in the league last season and
yeah,
wrap that up early, that we could take our foot off the pedal and still win the league by 10 points. Yeah. But what are you doing to solve that? Even he said things like when we beat City last season that he doesn't like to play football like that because we let them have the ball, but it
yeah,
works. Do the play to the tactics that make you win. All this great in-game management that he did last season that carried us to the title, it's
yeah.
like it's all gone. It's like it's all
Yeah,
gone now. You get what I'm saying? So I don't know whether or not he's treating this season as a free hit or something like that because the board have told him, don't worry about this season, you're ahead of schedule. Then you add to that Jota, may you
yeah,
rest in peace, one of my fave Liverpool
Page, yeah,
players in recent times, right? And I don't know what's going on because when he makes these substitutions in game, which last season Cammy does, as I said, you're making us smaller at the back.
yeah,
Even when we played Forest on Saturday, he took off um, Kanate to bring on
yeah,
Ekatike. Yeah. It annoyed me the way Kanate reacted to that, but we can
yeah,
get into that later or whatever, right? You're
yeah,
smirking. You're smirking. You've been one of the worst three players on the team this season. And I'm saying something because literally everyone, bar what Ekatike, Chiesa, and one or two, and Soboslai,
yeah.
probably just them three. There's not many others.
No,
Alisson's not done too much wrong, to be honest. Have been
yeah,
poor this
yeah,
season. Um, Van Dijk's had a couple of great performances, but at the same time, there's a couple of goals that we've conceded where he should have
yeah,
done better, and that's even going back to the Community Shield at the start of
mm,
the season. But we didn't. We don't really mind like losing that one. It's the main things, the league, etc. What's going on? But
yeah,
in the substitutions he's making in game, he's making us smaller. So then obviously, aerially, we're going to concede. We lost late to Crystal Palace. Kirkes
yeah,
and Fringo could have done better at the end on that goal. Obviously, we've lost late to Chelsea as well.
yeah,
That was on that goal came from the left, and even Cucurella said because they wanted to overload there because they knew Salah's not going to track back and whatnot. And
yeah,
we're being too easy to figure out at the moment, and you're not changing things. You've got Gomez sitting there, and
yeah,
he's always apprehensive when he talks about Gomez. The only player he's more apprehensive about when he talks about them is Chiesa. There's always
yeah,
Chiesa. He's this, he's that, or blah blah blah, or he. He doesn't even say his name sometimes. He just says he or whatever. He
yeah,
gets. I don't know what Chiesa's done to him, bruv. Hope's not got a daughter that he's troubled or
yeah.
something like that. You know what I'm
Just
saying? I mean, like it doesn't make any form of sense. So
no,
I just like he needs to sort it out. I would never call for managers. I never thought in my life in November that I would be sitting there and be saying the man that won the league, if
yeah,
he got axed, I would understand that. You get what I'm saying? But it looks a mess. We were top 5 wins from 5. Now we're 12th. We dropped a place on the day we weren't even playing football, bro, because Everton beat Man United. So you sit
yeah,
there and you laugh and then you remember, oh, actually, but they're over us now. And the likes of Everton, look how Villa started the season. Villa are over us. You get what I'm saying?
yeah,
Villa didn't score a goal in their first 4 matches. It might have
yeah.
even been 5. You know what I'm saying? Something
More, yeah, it was
stupid like
more. I
that.
think,
You
yeah,
get what I'm saying? Absolutely ridiculous. So, yeah, we need to sort it out, but it's a mess. I'm going to say I'm slotting because you obviously don't want me to sit on the fence. But as I'm saying, if he was to go, I would completely understand it. But then who do you get in? And it's not about who's available because
mm,
Slot wasn't. It's not like Slot was out of work when we got him in. We could approach
yeah,
any Liverpool Football Club. We just stop talking like we're little men out here. You get what I'm saying?
yeah,
But it is, yeah, nah, it's a real mess. And the thing is that we were all right against Forest up
yeah,
until they scored. And my problem tomorrow with PSV on paper, but nothing is won in football on paper. We should be winning that at least 2-0,
yeah,
yeah. Even though they've got some decent players, but if we go behind, I fear that we're not going to win again because this team has no backbone now. You even mentioned yesterday, I'm talking about how Klopp nicknaming us mentality
mentality
monsters.
monsters.
Where is that now?
Mm,
There's no backbone to this team now. You go behind, you're done. It's just predictable.
yeah,
We scored how many games in a row? Was it 40 odd? I think it was 44 Premier League games in a row, something like that, maybe even more than that. And now we've
yeah,
not scored back-to-back games. It's just a complete mess. He
yeah,
won't take Kanate out. Soboslai, the legs in midfield. You keep on putting him right back.
yeah,
What's the point in having Ramsey there on the bench, a normal right back, even if you just give him an hour? Then if you want to resort to your
yeah,
nonsense and put the legs out and put Soboslai right back, but if you're not giving him a game, but he's the third choice right back in terms of that being his natural position, when
yeah,
the other two were injured, then that means you've got no faith in him. So then why didn't you loan him out if you're not going to use him? Why wasn't if you're not going to use Joe Gomez, then why wasn't he using a make way to get Gahey in or whatever early? So then Crystal Palace have got a centre half there if you're not going to use him. When even with Quansah there, we were saying we needed centre backs. If you sell Quansah, and that means you need two centre backs. We only bought Leone, who's a teenager, so you're never going to throw him in immediately. As good as
Of
he is,
course.
though, that one game, and then we even had to finish the game against Southampton, he looked good. He looked assured in possession. He looked decent in the air. You got well, he should be because of his height, good in the
Yeah.
air. And he looked really good. He looks like look, in the future you're going to be looking at like a Rolls Royce centre back, but it all
Yeah.
depends now on how he comes back from injury. So if you sold Quansah, you've got Leone, you still need another centre half anyway. You get even with Gomez there because you know of his past of injury issues. Even he said today Gomez has had an injection, like as though
Yeah.
he's trying to say basically that he won't start tomorrow. So why would Ibu knuckle down in training and improve and cut out his nonsense if he knows
Yeah.
he's going to start anyway when he's been playing dreadfully?
Yeah. That's the
He's like,
biggest mistake we made in the summer. That we didn't add Mark Gay, or not Mark Gay in particular. It could have been another centre back,
yeah, where's the
because
backup plan?
I'm a strong believer that we should always have about five centre backs, or the fifth one is that sort of multifunctional guy, which on paper would have been Joe Gomez, right? So you would have
Which
had
is why,
Leone,
which is why,
Davy.
which is
Yeah.
why in the summer you wanted Hato. I wanted Hato as well because how
Yes.
many games has he played for Chelsea? The year before you wanted Pacho before because they can
Yeah.
play left back and
Yeah.
they can play centre half. It gives you varying options, durable
And he would have given us a great
players.
balance in that
You
back
know what I'm
line as
saying?
well, in that position. So no, I think in terms of slot, I hear you, because I feel like maybe 2 weeks ago I was in that same kind of mind frame where I was a bit more patient. I thought, you know what? Hopefully he can turn it around. But my problem is that I'm not seeing anything. So that's my frustration going forward. But then when you look at the managerial market, it's not one that you're sort of blessed with to make appointments. Like in terms of free agents, there aren't many. Like you've got the likes of your Xavis,
Yeah.
who I would still have question marks over in terms of him coming over to the Premier League to manage Liverpool, because I think the expectations will be a lot higher. My kind of assumption with him would be that he's more of a project manager where he's going to be given time to
Yeah.
embed his
But,
philosophy.
but remember, one thing we need at the moment is
Yeah.
defensive stability because that's gone out the window. And when
Yes.
he did win the league with Barca, they barely let in any goals. So that would be
That would
something.
go to his favor.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So in terms of him, that is something that I would look at. Then I'm okay
Yeah.
because look, this season, unless we could put out something magical in the Champions League, could be
Yeah.
done already in November because we're at the League Cup, which is a competition that we've won the most, right? So
Yeah.
therefore, if Xavi like Xavi was to come in and then actually see a plan, yeah, and
Yeah.
restoring a form of football culture, because I don't even know what type of team we are at the moment, then I could
No
look
one
positive.
knows.
Then I could look positively to next season, but I have no idea
Yeah.
what we're doing at the moment. Players are
We have
not
no
being
identity.
used. Players are not being
Yeah.
used in their best positions or to their
Yeah.
best style. If you know that you're going to Kirkes, who was bombing up and down at Bournemouth, you're going to make him when we're starting the attack play
Yeah.
like in a free. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because obviously you're letting the right back invert, and he's not great on the. He's good. He's okay with burst of pace going forward, but he's not great necessarily on the ball to pass it
Yeah.
out from the back, etc. Then why not
Yeah.
buy a left back as we've both been streaming? For
Yeah.
how long now? The last 18 months. Buy a
Yeah.
left back who can play centre half as well. So it's
Yeah.
comfortable for them. There's no shortage of Romero. Though, as we said, like Safato and Pacho have gone. There's
Yeah.
Carlo Ignacio at
Yeah.
Sporting Lisbon. There are a few out there. Everybody's saying Bastoni, come on, like we ain't got the money to get Bastoni
That's the
after what
tricky
we
right
forked out already. Well, we're going to play close to 100 million again. You get me? That would be the perfect one. You can play.
there.
You make you has played in the three at club
Yeah.
level, but can play in the four as well. I mean, when he's played for Italy, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So come on, man.
It's funny
It's
because
just
the two
ridiculous.
fullbacks that we bought, of course, in Kirkes and Frimpong,
Yeah,
their strengths are they are attack-minded fullbacks. They're going to go forward. They're going to attack the byline, as duos, right? But
yeah.
if you're going to go with that kind of profile, you have to have a bona fide number six to kind of cover the ground for them
To
when they make
protect
the
it.
runs forward. Yeah,
And what does he do
like
with our six? What's him centre back?
he's been given a free role this season. Like he's box to box. Like we don't have we don't have a player
No
that's
one's
deep
sitting.
lying.
No one's
Yeah,
sitting there.
no one's
So
saying.
what's
But
going to happen?
McAllister ends
They're
up
right
being
up
that
against the
guy,
defence.
but then people walk past him like he's not there. So what's the point of having him in that position? So tactics have been all over the place, and I think individually, Kirkes and Frimpong are good players,
Yeah,
but you've missed something. You've missed the cog to make those two function. That is a proper number six. Gravenberch can then be the box to box player that you want,
yeah.
but we need to protect the back line, and we're not doing that this season. So that's why teams are going through us like literally we don't exist.
And
That's how
like
bad our midfield has been.
and like as was saying with Gomez,
Yeah,
and he won't use Endo. He
yeah,
won't use Endo. Someone that has the sense
yeah.
that if they can't get to
Defensive
someone
awareness. Yeah,
to if they can't get back in certain scenarios, commit
yeah,
that tactical foul, take the yellow to protect the team. You get what I'm saying, Bob?
yeah,
Like we're just all over the place. I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, what the hell are these guys doing in training?
yeah.
We try to, in terms of spreading our signings across varying areas, we try to maybe do too much in
Different.
certain areas of the
Mm,
pitch, and then a lot
yeah.
of money has gone. A lot of money has gone into there, right? But it looks like the plan was. I don't know. As I said, it's like they're giving him a free hit because they're ahead of schedule. But
I
he,
can't I
he
can't accept that, dude. Like
we as Liverpool Football Club shouldn't be accepting that. But
no.
I can't think of any other way because it's just nonsense. It's kind of,
Last season should have been free hit. Of course, maybe we overachieved because we won the title in
yeah,
that regards in
and
terms
brought
of
in more
the
money, which let
yeah.
them adjust their plans. You know what I'm saying?
I know when you're spending that kind of money, and look, we weren't just spending money on project players because that's what Chelsea do. Chelsea spend a lot of money,
Yeah,
but it's a lot of project players, right? Or they buy players with huge potential to basically, put them out on loan and then flip it at the following season and then sell them on. So it's a business model in terms of
yeah,
what they're doing. But we bought players that were supposed to be ready made for the team. So I just don't see it coming in that regards. Like it's not working, and that's my concern. Like spending all that money, signing all of these strikers and all these very talented players, but we're not playing as a collective. I feel like we're very very disjointed as a team.
very,
Not
very
no
distracted.
no one's like formed a good partnership. Gakpo doesn't even know Kirkes is a part of the lineup because he completely blanks him all the time. Do you know what I mean?
but
Like he doesn't even
but
pass the
then,
ball to him.
I don't think he trusts him because
Possibly,
you see when
possibly.
Robertson has played how many times he passes to Robbo.
Yeah, but that's probably because I think they've had time to like form a
Yeah, that's
relationship with him.
understanding. Yeah, so so
Yeah,
he's no,
yeah.
so it's
But
it's a it's a it's just all a mess, brother.
it's a
It's
mess, man. It really is.
it's just all it's a real mess, and it's a crying shame to sit there and watch it because I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, what the hell are we doing? Like so easy to get at. Like
Yeah,
we play and we come forward and we look like we're going to score a goal, and then as soon as the opposition get the ball, they're right on the edge of our box. Sometimes it's like one pass.
it's literally one pass. You're right.
It's literally one pass, and sometimes it doesn't even have to be over the top. It can
No, it's
be like
through,
a long
through the
through.
things.
It's through the midfield because that's what you're saying.
Yeah,
Because no one's sitting, Gravenberch is like in a free role. More the
yeah,
role he played like at Ajax and Bayern when had been because he is at 8. We just fell on because we couldn't get Sacheda. We fell on the fact,
yeah,
obviously, for him to be used. Yeah, in a deeper role and whatnot. They won't go out and get that combative DM. Isak obviously needs minutes to improve, but Ekatike is the one who's hot at the moment. He's just scored a brilliant game for France. You took him out and whatnot. I just like it's just all messy. And the things as well with Verts as
yeah,
well. No GA in the league, but he can't acclimatise in this league if he gets taken out
yeah,
in certain games because then how's
yeah,
he going to get up to the pace of the league? Because once he gets to the pace of the league, he's gonna tear it apart. But I do because the thing
yeah,
is, he's still creating a bag of chances and he harries and he works, but just that when he's
yeah,
on the ball, he needs to be sharper. But you
yeah,
see him at international level, you see him in the Champions League. That's
yeah.
why he's flowing in the
True.
Champions League because he's got that
Mm,
extra half a second on the ball,
yeah,
pinging it everywhere. Do you get me? Whether he's on the left or in
yeah.
the centre, but
I don't
yeah,
think it's a positional issue. I think you're right. I don't think it matters where he's on the pitch. It's
yeah,
more of a sort of a psychological thing, but also when he receives the ball, he has to be sharper
yeah,
because I feel like with him, he's already got a picture in his mind in terms of what he wants to do before he
yeah,
receives the ball. But
yeah.
when he receives that, he's too slow to lay that ball off, or he's too slow to react. and because of that, there's a delay, and most of the time he's getting clamped. So he's getting clamped from behind, so he's lost the ball. So then he's losing that
Yeah,
momentum. He's
yeah,
broken down the play,
yeah.
and it probably affects his confidence going forward into that game as well. So
Do you
it's just
think
a adaptation period basically that he needs to try and fix onto.
in terms of him, two things, Oz. Do you think
Mm.
one, because remember when he was younger, he had a very serious injury. Do you think
Yeah.
one, he's seeing some of the challenges that flying in, and he's thinking, I don't want to get injured, but
Mm.
also as well, or you could say it is both, that some of the players in our team, as mad as it sounds, are not on his level mentality wise on the football pitch.
Yeah.
Because you saw, for instance, when we played Chelsea, when he come off the bench at half time, first thing he did, like 20 seconds in, the ball was bouncing. He did that mad flick to Salah. And then because the challenge was coming in, Salah shot
Yeah.
just wide on his right foot. Do you think sometimes we need to give him the ball in areas where the movement, once it's given to someone moves so he can do something with one touch of the ball? But because
Yeah.
they're not on that page of it. They don't build it yet. It maybe it might start coming in AFCON when obviously more things will go
Yeah.
through him because Salah will be gone.
Mm.
Because I'm just seeing some of the passes and whatnot that he's doing, and I just think that certain times that we're not giving him the ball in the best position, but also as
Yeah.
well as I said, he's taken too much time on it. But the
Mm.
shooting as well, the shooting as well.
Yeah.
He's like there's opportunities he has to shoot, and he takes another touch.
Yeah.
It's like he's just all over the place. But then
All over the place.
it will
I
come.
think in terms of what you mentioned about the injury, personally, I don't see it. I don't see it where he's pulling out of challenges or whatnot. I just think he hasn't got the grasp of how quick and intense the Premier League is. Because in the Champions League, he's got that extra second to maneuver because obviously it's a
Yeah,
European stage, so it's a
yeah,
European way of playing football. So that's why he's flourished whenever we play in the Champions League. But in the Premier League, I think he's found that quite difficult. I don't think he's adapted to the
no,
pace of the game. And I think in terms of the people around him, and people are gonna call me the Verts Defense League. That's the name that's been given to me. But I don't think the players around him are on the same wavelength because you've got the likes of Salah, who's he's been positioned to play out wide, but he comes inside, and I don't feel like he's quite got to grasp in terms of his movement. Gakpo, unfortunately, I don't mean to be disrespectful. He's being quite predictable in his play.
yeah,
Cuts in, and then kind of occupies his space. As
yeah,
a left winger, you should be going out on the outside and stretching the opposition. But when you're occupying the number 10's position, you've made it very congested. And I feel like with Ekatike, as talented as he is, he likes to drop deep as well. So
yeah,
he's not got that space to roam or be effective as a number 10. Although, having said that, I do feel like he's formed a good relationship with Ekatike.
yeah,
Whenever they play together, there seems to be a good understanding. There
yeah,
seems to
yeah,
be the
yeah,
same wavelength.
yeah,
Isak, for me, he's just not fully fit. He's
yeah.
not moving like he normally does. So
No,
he's very static right now. So he's
yeah,
not running behind the defense or anything like that. And because of that, you're not stretching the play.
yeah,
So it's very hard to thread that through ball. As talented as you can be, it's very hard for him to make that effect. And look,
yeah,
if he does get that through ball on, the strikers are not banging in the goals this season. It's not just a defensive issue. From an attacking point of view, we've not been clinical as well. So that's why I keep saying we are disjointed. Nothing it seems to be working. We're not on the same wavelength. We're not playing with the right energy. We're not pressing from the front as well, which is what we've been renowned for over the
yeah,
years. Yes, yes, I know that's a clock thing, but that is the modern day of playing football. Your attack sets the tone for the rest of the team. And if we're not pressing, the energy is not coming from anywhere. So for me, this is from the coach. The coach has to implement this. It's not all going to well try and do these training ground routines when it comes to set pieces, but that's not enough. It needs to be patterns of play, or when the team is in transition from defense to attack. How do we move as a team?
yeah,
Is it five defending, five attacking, or 6-4? Like whatever it is, there has to be the picture for the team to kind of get to grasp. Like, you know what? This is what the coach wants from us. And I feel like tactics have been a bit all over the place.
yeah.
Somebody saying, I don't know, maybe Heitinger was, the mastermind, because obviously since he's left, it's gone a bit pear shaped. Van
Well,
Bronckhorst,
they're saying
I don't know what he's doing.
They're saying Indonesia won Van Bronckhorst. If that's the case, bring Heitinga back because he got axed by Ajax. You get what I'm saying? Because we are
Yeah,
just like, I,
all over it.
I don't. But I hear you with once we get it right, it's
Yeah,
going
it'll
to
play.
be beautiful to
Yeah,
watch. But we're too far adrift for it to even mean
too
anything
far away.
league wise. Get me playing. We're lucky if we come in the top five as it stands, man.
I'm worried. I'm very worried about our chase for top four this year. It's not a we don't have the right to think we'll be there because we're Liverpool. We have to
Yeah,
play
yeah,
to the levels to achieve that position. We're not doing it at all. So for me, it's a huge concern.
yeah,
Let me go through some of the comments. Quite a few
yeah.
comments for us. Let's start with the first one. Ozan, big up Ozan as always. He says, I've got zero confidence going into this match, Aussie bro. Ozan, I'm normally positive on this show, but I hear it. I'm not. I'm not very confident going into. We'll speak about the game in more detail, but yes, I agree. I'm not talking with any chest.
Yeah.
I'm flat chested right now, so I can't really, can't really talk too much. I don't have a lot of confidence in my team, unfortunately, but hopefully we can turn things around for tomorrow. Bo, big up Bo. He said it's going to be such a tough watch. Yeah, I'm doing a watch along. So if you guys are around, please
Yeah,
make sure to tune in and getting involved in the chat because
it's going to
I
be a
feel like
battle,
I'll need something to keep me
man.
going. Otherwise, I will literally close the stream and turn my
If,
TV off
if
because,
they take the lead in the first half, just don't even bother watch the rest of the game, man.
bro, I will probably close the stream. If there's no one chatting to me, I'm turning the TV off. There won't be no match reaction because my match reaction will be like, slow out. I might just replay my video from Sunday. How about that? So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Liverpool Anfield video says, Hi guys, how's it going? I just discovered your channel. Big up yourself, Liverpool Anfield videos. Thank you for your comment and thank you for tuning in. Bo says, My guys, big up Bo. Hope you're doing well.
Pick up.
Liverpool Anfield video says, I am just watching a Leo's goals video and this was suggested. Are you guys slot in or slot out? So I've been vocal, as you guys will probably know, last few days. I am officially slot out. I'm not gonna backtrack what I've said. I am slot out. But Double D, he's a bit more calm, a bit more collected than I am right now.
Yeah.
He's still giving the gaffer a bit of a chance to turn it around. So he's pretty much slotting, but he also knows the issues that we're having right now. So
So,
he's not you get some fans that are just like ultra supportive. I don't feel like you're like that Double D. I feel like you're seeing it how it is. You want things
yeah,
to turn around, but
he's got 2 more weeks. He's got to Saturday night's main event.
what if we lost against West Ham? Because
But this is
for me,
we'll talk because obviously you'll do your own separate preview on it. We'll address
yeah,
that later. But as it stands, we won't beat West Ham, bro,
I don't see it.
because with the way Nuno will set them up, yeah, with
Yes.
the block, right? We're struggling to create at the moment. So it's just set for us to have the ball, have about 70% of the possession, and to hit us on the break and Jared Bowen scores. It's set up for that. And Callum
Oh,
Wilson is in form currently.
all of
So
a
I
sudden,
mean, Liverpool coming, bruv. So yeah, as it stands, we won't win that either,
no,
which is the sad thing.
bro, I hear it, and you'll get some fans that'll be like, "Oh, you want Liverpool to lose?" Of course, we don't want Liverpool to lose. We are,
Nah, never, never.
diehard Liverpool
Just
fans,
being
but
realistic. You get me?
we're
Because if you say
realistic.
that you're going to win every single game and you don't even look
Yeah,
about the threat the
yeah.
opposition can cause, then what's the point? You get what I'm saying?
What's the
But
point? I remember this is the manager that gave Slot nightmares for months and months.
you
This was
see,
the manager that gave him nightmares.
every interview he was talking about the Nottingham Forest game. So then when we went to
Literally,
their ground, I was hoping we'd beat them. First half
yeah,
was crap. Second half, we could have scored about 8, and that's not
yeah,
even
yeah. We had chances. Yeah,
what's it called? An exaggeration. Sells
mm,
made a couple of saves from Salah,
yes,
Gakpo, Jota
yeah,
before Jota scored, and there was a back of efforts that just went wide and
yeah,
over the top and whatnot. We battered them second half. I don't know how they
yeah.
got a point in that. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, it played on his mind
It is 100%.
for the whole season. But yeah, Nuno, no, but even from he was at Wolves, even in games
Yeah,
that we beat them in, the way that he would set the team up was always cause us
difficult to
issues,
beat.
man.
Difficult to beat. It's so true, and that is the teams that we're struggling with. To be fair, we're struggling against every team, but it's normally that way of playing where
Yeah,
like you said earlier on, he's become so transparent that he's told the people, "I don't have the answers." Then what are you doing in the job then? Like, what do you mean you don't know? You don't have the answers? Like this is like basic football. You can't tell me you're a Liverpool manager and you don't know how to be a low block.
You
Then
look
what are
at
you
it.
doing there?
You look at it. January. If try Gahey, because though some
Yeah,
will say at 6 foot they'd like a taller centre half, right? If you can't get Mike Gahey, and surely the analytics team, the scouts,
yeah,
whatever they're doing, find another tall centre back or get
mm,
a DM. Look at Tottenham with Paulinho. Look how well he's helped them. And the joke is, it's not
yeah,
even just him sitting in front of the defence. He's been getting GA for them as well. And it's not even his
yeah,
job. I
yeah,
mean, like you can't
yeah,
tell me that there's no. What happened to all the men we were linked with before? Heza, the
mm,
Argentine DM at
yeah,
Olympiacos. What happened to all these people that we were linked with before?
yeah.
Because you're not going to get Adam Wharton in January for the price that
No,
Palace want anyway. You got what I'm
yeah,
saying? I mean, so and even then, yes, he's competent, so he will help, but you would still need a centre back as well. You get what I'm saying? Because
yeah,
just him, a DM coming in, it's not going to solve when they get past and they bypass that player with what Kanate is doing. And they don't want to put
mm,
Gomez in. Leone's not going to be back until next season. Yeah, you
yeah,
understand? Like, it's just absolutely ridiculous. And then I thought
mm,
Joel Konsa have another good game for bloody Leverkusen today when they beat Man City 2-0.
yeah. I heard a rumor. I don't know if there's any truth to it that we we, we may have a clause to bring him back in January. I don't think there's any
I don't
truth
know
to
if
it,
it's
to be
in
fair.
January. I don't know if it's in January, but yeah, they did put a
Mm.
buyback clause in for him. Yeah,
Yeah, buyback clause or something like it could be activated from January onwards. I don't think there's any truth to it. I think that's just someone giving
I
us Liverpool fans
f-
a little bit of hope because we're
the
desperate
original
out here.
one I heard was that the
Mm.
buyback clause was available. I think after 2 seasons, either
2 years,
18 months or
right?
two
Yeah, yeah.
seasons,
And
that the
there's an
buyback
agreed fee as well. I believe it's
activated.
50 million. That it's an agreed fee as well
Yeah,
for him
yeah.
to return. So
So
that's more or less it.
it
I
was
don't know
basically
about
in
January.
place. The original thing
Yeah,
I heard was that it was in place with when Van Dijk's contract ends,
yeah, yeah.
if I'm not
Yes,
mistaken. You get what I'm
pretty
saying,
much. Yeah,
basically.
pretty
Yeah, yeah.
much. So yeah, we'll see. I don't feel any truth to that, but we'll see if there's any
Uh,
sort of pace into that story. That's a big up Aussie Double D. Where can
Big
we
up, Daz.
pressure PSV tomorrow? We'll speak about the game very shortly, but yeah, we'll cover that very soon. Liverpool 67, big up yourself. It says people so deluded, still think benching this player and that player would change our fortune. No, it won't when your manager plays around football. Bloody hell. To be fair, this season he has been playing around football. To be fair, but my thing is, it's not just the brand of football. It's just he's not changing things. When you're losing, you're thinking, why am I losing? You have to self-reflect and think, I need to find another plan, another shape, another formation, because the players aren't clicking together. So you find another system that you get the best out of your current crop of players and then take it from there. But he's not doing that. He's being, in my opinion, a bit lazy, where it's the same formation, same tactics, but no real sort of identity in terms of how we need to play the game. And when you're losing as well,
Yeah,
you have to emphasize more of a game to game approach. I feel like you should do it anyway, but more so when you're losing because you have to analyze the opponent and see how can we get something from this game. 6 defeats in 7 in the Premier League. That is not acceptable for Liverpool Football Club. That is relegation form for me right there. So something has to give, and whether it's his position or what, something has to change for me. Um, because this game, I don't have a lot of confidence. The West Ham one, I am dreading it, to be honest with you.
yeah.
And if we were to go back to back defeats this week, how much more time can we give this coach? So, it's going to be, make or break, I would say, for Slot this week. Uh,
Yeah.
I'll be very surprised if he was to continue on into December. But we'll speak about that in more detail as well. Bo says there is no progression in play. That is facts. There is no
Oh.
progression in our play. Bo says teams are running through us like we are Bonnie Blue. Bloody hell.
But it's the truth, though, and it's a joke.
It is
It's,
fact.
it's an
We've
absolute
got a
joke.
bit of with that comment there, but yeah, it is facts to be fair. Um, Brazy, big up Brazy says Liverpool still in the way. Come on, Brazy. Here's
I
a
put
show you, bro.
put
Here's
your money down. If it happens, you'll be a very rich man.
Brazy.
You get me?
I will put a stamp on this, but yeah, we're not winning the league. Let's not kill ourselves. Liverpool 67 says, "Isn't that bad enough to sack him? We look on every attack, we'll concede goal and never look like scoring." For me, it's just not an attacking issue. It's as a collective, we just feel like we're disjointed. So for me, I personally feel like he's lost the dressing room. I don't feel like the players are playing for this coach anymore. They're not buying into his tactics or his way of playing or philosophy. And because of that, you have to refresh. You have to hit the reset button and go with another coach and have another approach. That's why I had the show yesterday where I spoke about different possible candidates because it's not easy to go and get a Julian Nagelsmann. He's already in a job. It's not easy
Yeah,
to go and get a Xabi Alonso. He's at one of the biggest clubs in the world right now. There are rumors circulating that there's not things that are working well there, but I don't know if there's any truth to that. So all the top candidates that we would like for us to see as Liverpool manager, they're not available. So, do you go with trying to, get Jurgen Klopp out of retirement? Do you go for a different coach like a Steven Gerrard? He might not be, tactically the best or anything to that based on, his managerial career. But what he would do, he will, in my opinion, galvanize the squad
yeah,
based on his status as a former player. He knows what it means to be part of Liverpool. He knows the fans, he knows the city. There'll be a connection between the manager and the fans, and I feel like he'll bring that good feel factor back to the club. So maybe that's temporary solution because right now I feel like we're in the mud. You
yeah.
know, the title race, forget about it. That's not even a discussion. But what we do need is we need to try and finish in the top four because if we don't achieve that this season, we are going to fall back even further than even imaginable. Like it would be horrendous for us to not have any European football next season. So,
Imagine,
big
imagine,
questions being asked.
imagine, mate.
Imagine that. So, there will be big questions asked from the owners, but I feel like the owners need to show that they can be cutthroat because this is the moment where, you assess someone's credibility when it comes to ownership.
Yeah,
This is a time where, you know, you have to listen to the fans, but not also that. Look at the numbers. They're all about data and all this metrics and analytics, all that sort
yeah.
of nonsense. Look at the numbers. We're losing games. We're
The
losing momentum. We're further
mi-
down the
minus
pecking
goal
order.
difference, you know. Minus goal difference.
Minus. When have you heard that with Liverpool? 6 wins, 6 defeats. We've not even notched up a single draw. We're 0/100. Like that doesn't. And when we're 100, I don't feel like we're 100. We're like 60 because we're not playing to our full capacity. It's
Uh,
just that we've been very lucky with last minute winners and all that sort of stuff.
I would the wins. I wouldn't necessarily say lucky because
Not
obviously,
lucky, but it was a
like
moment from a player that brought that quality in. I don't think it was great work from minute to the last minute. I don't feel like we performed to the levels that we saw last season. For me,
yeah,
that's my concern. In terms of how we've played this season. So yeah, dark times. That's how I feel it. How it is right now. Ozan it says, "Prove me wrong, Double D. You've never seen Kirkers and Gakpo smiling together in training videos or photos."
yeah.
It's true,
It's true. It's actually true. It's actually true. Remember, me myself, though I've rated what he's done for Bournemouth. I didn't want Kirkers. Just put it out there. And I said it on here. I think I said it
Yeah,
twice before you get. What I'm saying. I mean, but
yeah.
yeah, he just looks happy to be there at the moment. From his debut against his old club when he
Oh my God.
got booked and whatnot, he just looking like a hothead, bro. You get what I'm saying? I mean, but
That's one of the worst debuts I think I've seen in a Liverpool shirt because he was just literally all over the place. And it's like he had beef with his former team. Like he was trying to break their legs, going flying tackles. Like there was no pally about. But I feel like he's trying to impress too much too soon. You got to play to the game. You got to be a bit more measured in those moments.
the
But
only two games I can sit there and say I've liked what he's done this season was Everton. The
yeah,
two win against Everton, I thought he was good, and the second half against Arsenal. because
Yeah, I was
in
gonna
the
say the
first,
Arsenal game he played well.
in the second half, because in the first
Mm,
half, without Madueke necessarily beating him in terms of
yeah,
with a skill or whatever, Madueke got inside like 3 times. One of the
yeah,
times got smothered by Allison. Another one he ran the ball off, and then another one Kirk has
yeah.
actually recovered well, blocked it, and then it went out for a corner. But I'm like, why? He was. He's, watch your man. He's just floating there, and then
Yeah,
Madueke's running. He's not even looking at him. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, it's crazy. Like
yeah.
I don't know, man. But he's only
I
just
think
turned 22, so maybe
yeah.
like have to give him that whole season, obviously, to judge
But
what
then
he's
I
doing.
feel like we should have started with Robertson and then eased his way
He's the mid.
into
That's
the
what I said to people.
starting.
People are like, no,
Mm,
no, Robertson's finished. Robertson's finished. But
nah.
the first time when he played Burnley, and then he got booked early, and he was still jumping into challenges, and then Slot had to sub him. I don't even think it was half an hour, and then Slot subbed him. Robbo came on. Robbo was the best player on the pitch after that in that Burnley game.
Mm,
He
it's
was
true.
tackling well. He got forward. He was putting balls in, and then obviously, then eventually we got the Rio when Frimpong came on, caused problems, and then we eventually got the penalty. You get what I'm saying? And to win it. But yeah, Kirk needs to fix that, man. He needs to sort it out. And then you watch him play for Hungary, and he looks fine. Obviously, it's different. Sometimes in the formation Hungary play, he actually plays as a left winger, like a left
Yeah,
winger,
he's
such
more up
inside
top, isn't
forward
it?
for them.
Mm,
Like sometimes depending on what formation
yeah,
that they use. And some other games flat back forward, and
yeah,
obviously in the
exactly.
normal left back position. But it's just a mess. And the thing is that some positions you wanna, as the guy said earlier, Barchiesa, who's the only person that's being benched that I would make the case for.
Mm,
Um, the only reason we're bringing the case forward for the likes of Endo is just because of how open we are.
yeah,
But it's amazing we spent so much money, and we still need to spend more in January to try to aid
yeah.
this because it's disgusting to watch, man. It's absolutely disgusting to watch. You
You'd
would
think
never
we were
think,
Man United last year where we finished like towards the bottom of the table and we had to, spend big and try and
yeah,
galvanize the squad again. Like you wouldn't think we were current champions.
yeah,
Like the way we moved right now, it's quite crazy that we do have to spend more money. We have to. We have no choice. We need a centre back. I say we need two, but maybe I'm being greedy there. And a DM, but the DM won't come in January just because of the profile that we would be looking at. The Adam Waltons, they would be top of the shortlist, but he wouldn't be available due to the finance, and Palace won't want to play ball with us in
yeah,
regards to selling him at this stage of the season. So
yeah.
then you have to wait for the summer. But you know, with Semenyo, because I feel like we haven't replaced Diaz, and look what he's doing for Bayern Munich right now.
But the thing is now, obviously it's annoying to watch. Like I had the because it was on Amazon, I didn't bother buying it when we beat
Yeah,
Real. So I had
yeah,
PSG and Bayern on the TV, and
mm,
just seeing the way that he's playing, even that goal he scored the other day when he won, I think it was against Union Berlin, where he made the challenge, slipped it past the defender, and then put it top bins. So it's annoying to watch, but let's be realistic. This
mm,
brother went over 3 months in the league without scoring last year for us. But in the midst of it, he got a hat trick against Leverkusen in the Champions League. So it
yeah,
didn't even come. So even if we did kept him, yes, he's pressing, etc., energy and
yeah,
whatnot, he would not be scoring the same amount of goals that he's scoring now. Would he help? Yes, but it
mm,
wouldn't be to the effect that in terms of what some people are making out to be. I told you we should never have sold Diaz and whatnot. We know the chances that this man missed for our football club, bruv.
yeah. He
And
did, he
cost us
did.
in big games. I mean, sometimes even with his tracking back, sometimes he was just
Mm,
running within the same 10 to 15 meter area. So that if we were
yeah.
to intercept the opposition, he could go on the break. I've named numerous games where he wasn't covering Robbo properly, bro.
Yeah.
Do you remember when we
There were
played?
definitely games where I feel like he was, not the best defensively, but
Yeah,
I feel like I think because of the way the team's performing right now, and one of his strong skill sets was his energy, the way he played the game, plays with real commitment, real desire, and we don't have that anywhere on the pitch. So I feel like for me, that's what I feel like we're missing on that side. Where he's always one of those players where he tries to do different things, and sometimes he pulls it off, sometimes he doesn't. So
uh,
that way the frustration came amongst the fan base. But what you can't deny, he will work hard. He might not help out Robbo all the time, but you know most of the time he would for me. And with Gakpo as well, with his sort of way of playing this season. I feel like nothing's clicked. I know with Robertson, you mentioned he's had different moments with like good moments with him,
Mm,
but with Kirkes being the guy that we want in the team, that's not working. There's no good balance on that left hand side. I feel like that is actually one of our weakest side in the team,
uh,
considering that right back is probably being looked at more because Trent isn't there. But I
yeah,
feel like the left hand side is really, really weak. We just look very disjointed, and we do look like we just have strangers there. They don't know how to play with each other. So
yeah,
look, we got problems all over the pitch. But of course, it's not nice when one of your high performing players last season in terms of goals and assists
yeah.
moves over and he's playing like he's trying to get that Ballon d'Or. Like he's playing that level. He's playing Ballon d'Or form right now. So you're thinking, why couldn't that be in a Liverpool shirt? So that's
Because
where my
he's
frustration
he's
is.
being paid more money, so he's happy.
Possibly, possibly, or maybe the
He's-
tactics are more based on his skill set. With us,
but
the
also,
formula would
also as
be
well, also as
pass to
well,
Salah
also as well, Bundesliga is just that little bit slower.
slower. Yeah,
So
so that helps him in that
some
regard.
of what he's doing looks absolutely devastating. You get what I'm
Mm,
saying?
that is true though.
But yeah, he's doing his thing. Good
I
luck
think
to
if
him.
we'd
I've never had
replaced him,
a
if
problem
we'd bought Semenyo in the summer, then I don't think we'd have too much of an issue because we would have had a player that,
work
we
rate.
can kind of, feed off and we can kind of work from
Yeah,
there. But because no replacement came in, I feel like there's a hole there. So hopefully, we can figure that out in January. But for now, January feels like a long time away, even though it's a month away, more or less. But feels like a it feels like a long, long time away. Bo
Oh,
says, Gakpo is utter shite. Fair enough.
ouch, ouch.
Not. Wayne, big up Wayne. He says to Ozan, didn't think about that till you said it last, but you're right. Yeah, that is true. Uh, Bo said, why was not laughing his head off once again? Listen, I don't know about Slot,
I
man.
don't know what
Honestly,
he's.
I don't know what to think about Slot nowadays. Like press conference, he just annoys me. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. It's like when you don't like someone, it doesn't matter what they do. Like it just annoys you. That's how I feel watching Slot right now. So I don't
man,
know.
man's just airing the problems out. Like, oh,
Yeah.
we've lost games with set pieces, counting set pieces, taking shots at other team and whatnot, and then do nothing to try to like. I don't know, man.
It's
I'm
worse than Pep
just
Lina's book, honestly. He is an open book right now, but it's in visual form. He does it week in, week out.
yeah.
He's releasing chapters every week, so it's just annoying. Honestly, he's frustrating, man. Frustrating individual. All I'm
Um,
saying, Slot was smiling the person today like he's top of the Premier League or table or something. He's not top of any. He's not on top of anything right now.
he
So
thi- he thinks
I don't know
he
where
think-
the arrogance is coming from.
he's thinking it's still last season, mate.
I know he's probably thinking that he's got Nottingham Forest coming up again, and he's got the master plan. He's got the players now to beat that game. I don't know.
And you know
Honestly, I
what's
don't know.
worse? And you know what's bad as well? We're talking about the dangers West Ham were for the counter attack. Do you know how disciplined Sunderland are? And then that's the next league game. Like
Yeah,
this,
yeah,
this is peak.
it is.
This is a peak
Listen, if
period, bro.
he's not sacked by this weekend, I'll be very surprised because I'm not expecting us to get anything from the West Ham game. I don't want to sound negative, but I really don't see it.
Imagine saying that before the season started.
I know. Can you imagine? I don't know where our next win is coming. Let me put it that way. I don't know where it's going to come from. And we don't have like a crazy run of games. I think we play Arsenal end of December, but bar that, the run of games, you're
I
thinking
think the Arsenal game, the first game in January,
January, sorry,
game.
yes, first week
Yeah,
of January. So bar that, we're thinking this is winnable, or maybe they're difficult,
yeah.
maybe one or two draws,
We're
but you're
so
expecting
we're so
wins.
bad currently. We have no winnable fixture or good fixture on paper. That is absolutely crazy, bro. It's
No,
crazy.
so that for me should paint the picture that there is a problem there. It's
Yeah,
the
man.
person that's the head of the table. That's the problem for me. So let's see. Let's see what happens. Bo says the Mike Das LFC guy is such a prick. I don't know what he said, so yeah, let me let me know what's PD off about Mike Das because I have no idea in terms of what he's said in his shows or on YouTube in general. Dad says big up Ozan mate. Hope you are well today. Your dad's back. Big up. Ozan says we ain't getting Europa spots, let alone UCL the way we're playing Aussie. listen, we'll be lucky to stay in the Premier League, mate. The way we're playing, so don't want to try and put that energy out there. But yeah, it's difficult times right now. Musa, big up Musa as always. He says, if Liverpool doesn't win tomorrow, do you reckon Slot will get the sack? I think he should have got sacked on Monday, yesterday. But no, I don't know. I think the West Ham one should be the one where if he's not able to get a win, you have to nail the coffin right there. But I don't know. It just depends on what the hierarchy believe because they might want to give him an opportunity to try and fix it around. So maybe they gave him a few more weeks. But like I just said a few minutes ago, I don't know where that win's coming from. So if we're not able to get wins, why are we forced in the situation? Why are we still sticking with this guy? That's my concern. I'm not seeing anything different. You know, if he plays a different formation in the next few games and we get the win, I'm not gonna be like slotting all over again. But I'm like, all right, fine. Look, let's see what he does. But the damage has been done for me, you know, in terms of what what he's presented as a coach, and I feel like it's a huge concern going forward. It really is. But we'll see. We'll see. I'll be surprised if he's there past December. I really would be surprised. Ball says 1-0 down after 5 minutes. Yeah, listen, you can't rule it out. We've been losing a lot of goals in the opening 10 minutes. And after that, every player's head is down. Like there's no fight, there's no aggression. Like they've accepted defeat after 10 minutes. That's not how you play sports. That's not how you play football. You're telling me there's no reaction in you. You've got to show a bit of fire, a bit of desire, in terms of wanting to do better or trying to turn things around. We're not doing that as a team. We're not fighting for the cause. We're just there. We're just making up the numbers. We're not putting in any effort or any application to try and get something out of the game. So I feel like that he's lost the dressing room. Therefore, I feel like a change needs to be done going forward. Wayne says to Musa, no, they won't sack him until we are the Champions League. I feel like by then it's too late, Wayne. Honestly, I hear what you're saying, and it could be a possibility, but the damage would have been done. So I hope that's not the case. But yeah, I hear what you're saying. JP said, big up, bro. Smash the like people. Big up, JP. Appreciate your comment. Thank you for tuning in. Reno, big up, Reno. He says, Yo, Slot and his coaching staff lack ideas. How many times did he try gap on the right to cross for Isak and Ekitike or use Kirkes as an inside right back who makes the run into the box? So I think Kirkes, I think you mean inside left back. But yes, you're right. And with Kirkes, he was named in the team of the season because he was playing as an overlapping fullback for Bournemouth. That has become his strong skill set as a fullback. So why are we not playing him to that level? Why are we not playing him to that kind of style of play? Him inverting against Forest, there was a moment or two where he was playing like a central striker, where he was positioned as the most furthest player on the pitch. Like, that makes no sense to me either. And God forbid if you give him a ball, he's not going to score either. So, and in terms of Gakpo, he's not played on the right side. He's predominantly played on the left. But with Gakpo, when he plays on the left and when he cuts inside, it's tunnel vision. He gets the ball, cuts in, and he just wants to shoot. Whether he can even see the goal is a different debate. But he just wants to shoot and he hopes for the best. Whereas you've got players behind you like your Kirkes, who's overlapping, or you've got an Ekitike and Isak trying to make a run, thread them through, or Verts is on the edge of the box. Also, Bosley is near enough and around that side of the pitch. He's not finding players either. So for me, you know, tactics need to be changed. You've got to explain to his players, look, you can't be so predictable. Show a bit of variation in your play. That will present unpredictability to the opponent. But we're not playing in that manner. So that's my thing right now. No desire, no energy, and we're predictable as hell as well. So yeah, it's not looking good. Big up H, he says they won't sack Slot. I hope you're wrong, but I kind of understand what you're saying as well because you know on paper, why would you sack a manager that's just won the league? Like this is just a blip, but I don't see it as a blip. Looking back at last season when we officially won the Premier League, all the guys went on holiday, so was in Ibiza. That didn't help in terms of his image because that a lot of people say that shows a lack of respect for the Premier League. But like since we won the league or when we were officially crowned champions, our form has gone downhill. So that's something it's just not spurred on from this season. It's actually spurred on from last season, and he's taking his eye off the prize, or he's not really thinking logically in terms of how the team should be playing. So I don't know. It's a crazy situation that we're in. One that I did not envision at all. I did not expect us to be in the second half of the table. I really didn't. That's where teams like Man United belong. We don't belong there. So that's something that needs to be changed going forward. But also, did you find some videos on the coach from Bologna Ozzy Italiano? I haven't. It's on my. I've made a note of it on my notepad. I'll definitely be checking them out. Yeah, but big up for yourself for suggesting the Bologna coach because I'm intrigued to see how he is tactically as a manager and could he be a potential candidate for Liverpool in the future. Both says 7 points from relegation. Bloody hell, that just sounds outrageous. Both says the last goals were individual quality, not manager quality. I could have stood on the sideline. That's what I feel like as well. It might not be clutch moments, but it was individual quality that got us through the line. It wasn't tactics or anything like that. Um, so yeah, and even when we won those games, you're happy we got the 3 points. Of course you are, but I felt we were lucky. Like it felt like it was luck, more than anything else. So yeah, crazy. Hey, so Kaiser wasn't looking too happy in today's training stream. We'll speak about Kaiser. I'm going to mention a few transfer rumors that have been circling today. Um, I don't blame him. He's worked so hard for this team, but he's not been given a fair opportunity, whether it's in the league or in the Champions League. So I don't blame him, to be fair. And Wayne has literally just said, "Can you blame him?" No, I can't, to be fair. But says Slot needs to stop playing Kirk as a midfielder. He does not have the ball playing quality. He's a left back running up and down the flank. I agree with that. Like in terms of because I know at his previous clubs at AZ Alkmaar, I know he played more when inverting fullback, but no disrespect, Eredivisie is completely different to the Premier League, and I don't think his skill set suits that style of play. And do you know what? One thing that I was thinking about earlier on today, if that's what Slot wanted from a fullback, especially from a left back, to invert and be in central positions and be effective on the ball, we went for the wrong fullback. We should have gone for Ait Nouri. That's Ait Nouri's game there. That's what he did at Wolves. That's what he's doing at Man City. That is his skill set. He's fantastic on the flank, but he's very technical, very good on the ball, and he can invert and he can play in those positions that Kirkers is taking up. So we signed the wrong fullback. If that is the profile that we wanted, so no, whoever made that decision will probably never know. But that is a mistake if that is a tactic you wanted to deploy. But personally, I don't want my left back inverting the way Kirkis has. He needs to be on the overlap, and with Gakpo, you know, who loves to cut in and shoot. It still gives you a bit of space, and hopefully, he can find him on that left side, and then you get crosses inside the box because our strikers are not getting any service. Whether it's through balls or crosses from the flanks, they're not getting any service, and that's why to point the obvious, we are missing a player like Trent because he was the one that would bring that creativity. He was whipping balls inside the box. There's no one else doing that. Gakpo doesn't do that. He's a winger that likes to shoot. Salah is renowned to be a goal scorer. He can be creative, but he's more of a goal scorer than not, in my opinion. So, Verts is supposed to be the creative spark, but then you're not playing him a lot, and then you're not really giving him the platform to really play to his strengths because, as I mentioned earlier in the show, Gakpo's coming inside, Salah's coming inside, so we're really taking up his space around the box. or just outside of the box in terms of the just before the D. So, you've got to let that player play in his role in his free with freedom and express himself, but he's not being allowed to do that. So we're all over the place. Just to summarize there, we are all over the place, unfortunately. Uh, Reno says, once we went 5 points ahead, Slot should have fixed the double pivot issue and tell them to defend first instead of letting Grav go forward often. I totally agree with that. I'm not a big fan of Grav having this free role. He needs to revert back to being the number six. And a lot of fans will tell me, look, he's not a natural number six. You're probably spot on. He's not a natural number six, but over his career, he has played that role. He has played number six for Ajax in a double pivot. He's actually played in a single pivot for the Netherlands at under 21 levels. So he has played that role in his career. It's just that we haven't seen it, on the professional scale, or shall I say, at Liverpool. Definitely not buying because he barely made an appearance there. So because of that, you know, last season he was by far the best number six in the league. Of course, Roger was out, so he was out of the picture. But in terms of his performance, he made that position his own. So why have we changed the whole approach with his role? It should be the same old with him. Number six, be the deep line midfielder in our team, protect the back line, tear up shop, go on that half 10, release the ball forward, and set the tone for us. That's what we need from him, not for him to be a box-to-box midfielder. That only works if you've got a DM behind him, like a Belieber or Shumeni, that type of player that will do that number six role to the book. But right now, we don't have that player, so that tactic does not make sense to me. Uh, Wayne says to Atbo, yeah, then starts him to invert. Not feeling it. Where's Double D now? Double D's just had a bit of internet issue, so he should be back very shortly. He's just messaged me. So I think he's just resetting his laptop and stuff, so he should be back soon. Wayne says, big up Aussie, Double D, just thinking out loud here. Do you think the reason for all our problems this season is because this isn't the final form of a stock team? We have two teams in one at the minute. It could be. I thought about this. I think I mentioned this on my show a few weeks ago. That Mark Gay signing, has that really messed up our season? Because maybe it's a bit crazy to say out loud, but I feel like if we had signed Mark Gahey, maybe Slot would have played the back three. That's the way I'm looking at it. Because think about it, if Mark Gahey was signed on transfer deadline day, and let's say Slot does change the formation to a 3-5-2, for example, the team would be on paper, Mark Gahey on the left side of centre back, Konate on the right, Virgil van Dijk in the centre. So that's your defensive three there, or defensive trio. And then your midfield, you've got Kerkez playing as a wing back, Frimpong playing as a wing back. Two positions I feel like suits their skill sets. And then you've got Gravenberg, and then you've got Sobozlai, and then you've got Florian Wirtz. Actually, no, you would have, for me, then it would be, I would say it would be a five midfield. So then you have Gravenberg, McAllister, and Sobozlai. And then your front three is Wirtz playing at number 10 role. And then you have Isak and Salah, but Salah playing as a striker rather than a winger. And then you've got Ekatike, providing cover and competition. Like that formation makes a lot of sense in my eyes. But to counter that, that could have just been the plan. Because I feel like with our current skill set, we could play a 4-4-2 diamond and it still works to that extent. The only difference would be that in a 4-4-2 diamond, the number six, which would be Gravenberg, he would actually drop deep and he would split up the defense. So then you have a back three with Gravenberg being in the middle, and then you got Van Dijk on the left, Konate on the right, and then your fullbacks go forward. But then you've got the number six covering their ground, and then you've got McAllister, Szoboszlai, Wirtz, and then you've got Isak or Ekitike or Salah, occupying the two front rows. So that still functions without having a back three. You can still function with a back four as well. So yeah, I hear what you're saying, but I feel like we could have still had a temporary solution until we added those players. So just to think out loud. Your second comment, he said he wants ball playing centre backs and Virgil van Dijk. Ibu are not good at that. I disagree. I think Virgil van Dijk is elite on the ball. I think he's amazing on the ball. Kanate, he's not as bad as what people would say, in my opinion, but he has shown, a bit of frailty in his game so far this season. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see, what we do going forward. I got Double D back on the screen, so let's go on to the next comment. Bo says Wayne True Slot says something but does not act the way he says. Um, seems to be the way with Dutch managers, coaches. I don't know if it's a Dutch thing, but this guy is too transparent for my liking. So yeah, speaks a bit too much if I'm being honest with you. Uh, Kratos, big up Kratos. He says, "Do you think we'll get Semenyo and Gay in January?" I'll leave that for you to answer. Double. Do you think we'll get Semenyo and Gay in January?
I don't know what happened there. To be, by the way, I don't
Nah, that's all good, bro.
know.
It's all
I
good.
do not know what happened. We have to go back to the dial-up
It's
days.
slot, man. Stop trying to
That's what sabotage. It's not sabotage, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we might have to go back up to dial-up internet. But yeah, Gahey and Semenyo, there is a mortal we don't get either, But I think Gahey would be the more
Yeah.
likely. But we might end up being extorted considering his
Mm,
contract runs out in the summer.
yeah. How much do you think? Like, just to give like a ballpoint mark, what do you think they would want us to pay?
We could end up paying like 18 million to get someone who we could get for free. 15 to between 15 to 18 million to get someone who we could get for free in the summer, such as they realise what our issues are. Because there was talk of when it didn't go through in the summer of getting him for 10 million in January,
Okay.
but that's gone up. The price of the buck's gone up now, bro. They see how much of a mess that we are. They're probably thinking at the moment they could come over or finish over us on the table. So it's
Yeah.
like you want him, you got to pay the money, and they no excuse if it's a case where he asks them to let him go to Liverpool because they've had adequate time since not being able to get someone in the summer. What I'm baffled about with the Gahey thing as well is that Igor was meant to go to Palace, decided to go to West Ham instead, and I've not seen him
Mm.
start a game for West Ham this
No, he
season
hasn't played for
in
him
the
at all.
Prem. I've seen him come
Mm.
off the bench a couple of times, so I
Yeah.
don't know what's going on. So it makes
You know
no
what's funny
further
about
sense to
this
me.
question? I'm seeing it the other way around. I think we'll get Semenyo, but I don't think we'll get Mark Gay.
For real.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It might be based on how we've been playing, and I feel like why would Mark Gay join us? Because he's got a lot of suitors all over Europe that would want to sign him,
Yeah,
whether it's on a pre-contract. Because remember, he's allowed to sign a pre-contract agreement in
yeah, in
January.
January.
So I feel like there's a lot of noise around teams like Bayern, Real Madrid, Barcelona. Whether they go for him or not, I'm not too sure. But I would feel like he would rather wait until the end of the season, evaluate his options, and then take it from there. Because
Yeah,
when he's a free agent, he's definitely going to be sought after, but then he can kind of demand like big money as well because he's not tied
yeah,
with anyone
yeah,
else.
yeah, yeah.
So that would be my thinking. Unless Liverpool come up with a stupid bid like 20, 30 million, then they're not going to reject that. And then obviously Gay would then
Yeah,
come on board. But Gay might not accept that as well at the same time. He'll be like, "You mugged me off in the summer. Like I was
yeah,
supposed to be, I was virtually a Liverpool player. Like I was wearing a tracksuit and everything.
yeah.
But you cancelled my move because Steve Parish wanted to do Pilates that day. So because of that, like he might have that against him. Like he might be like, you know what? Like he might be, like such a calm and nice individual in front of the camera, but deep down thinking, nah, I'm not gonna let them have a penny out of me.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I'd rather wait until my contract finishes,
yeah. Which
and then it
benefits me
benefits
more.
him in that
Me,
matter as
me and
well.
my family. Yeah, benefits me and my family more than
Exactly.
yeah, me. Yeah,
Like he's not going to look out for Palace because they didn't look out for him.
yeah,
He did the ethical thing to be professional in that moment. Isak did the unethical thing and he ended up getting his move.
yeah,
So that's how I see it. So I need a centre back. I don't think it is Gay. Whether it's another centre back in general, I hope it is because we need another defender. We can't go on with Konate playing, knowing that he's got no competition. And look, for me, he's Madrid bound as well. Like he knows he can have stinkers every day, but he'll play. because we got no options. Gomez, unfortunately for him, he's not training. He's getting injections
Yeah.
before games, but he can't actually play, which is crazy to say out loud as well. So I don't know, man. I don't know. In terms of this question, I see it being Semenyo and hoping for it to be another centre back. Just don't know who it is.
The,
I
the,
don't feel
iron-
really like I'm just throwing
the
it away, but
ironic thing is that
yeah,
if we start getting some results with Salah in Afcon, then
yeah,
they might think, oh, actually, we might be all right.
yeah. The Semenyo can play that role as well on that right hand side very effectively. So,
The-
or we
the-
might alter the shape altogether. And
no, no, I'm
mind you,
saying, if we start getting results, I'm saying that they might think
yeah,
we're okay and not buy either. That's what I'm saying. They might not buy if we get results in Afcon with
that sounds
Salah,
like an FSG thing, doesn't it?
they might
You might be
not buy
right.
either because I don't know
And
what
the
the board.
reason
I
you
don't
might be
know.
right as well because they're thinking, why are we
Look how much
spending money?
we paid for you. Yeah, look how much we paid money
Yeah,
we paid in the summer.
we're 11th. Why are we spending money? Like we'll save our money. It might be they might be tight like that. They were like, why
Yeah,
should we invest more? We gave this manager 400 million. Like he's not getting us anywhere else. Why spend more money?
is
It might be like a stubborn way of doing business, and
exactly.
you can't rule it out of FSG.
What's
You
it?
really can't.
Is it? What have you heard on Harvey Elliott? Because there's been a rumor going around that we put a special clause in that if it doesn't
Yeah,
work out, we can call him
bring him
back in
back.
January.
That's what I've heard as well. I wasn't very strong on him leaving. I understood, he wanted to leave to pursue first team football. The Villa move was a bit of a strange one because it kind of came out of nowhere. They weren't really linked with him. I thought it was either
Yeah,
Tottenham or Red Bull Leipzig. I think he should have
yeah,
gone to the Bundesliga. I think he would have really flourished there, and it would have actually helped his claim to have a position in the England national team for the World
yeah,
Cup because
yeah,
that was his goal. That's why he wanted to move away.
yeah,
Now, he's been given the number 9 shirt, but he can't even get onto the pitch. So it's a bit of a mad one for him. And they've got academy players starting ahead of him. I can't
yeah,
remember the guy's name, but he played in the last Villa game, and Harvey really didn't get any minutes. So that the move hasn't worked out. Um, would I welcome him back to Liverpool? Yeah, I feel like we we need every little help right now.
yeah,
But he wouldn't be the answer to our problems, if that makes sense. He'll just be another body for us, more so from an attacking position. But I feel like our issues and frailties are more in midfield and defense.
yeah,
Personally, I feel like we
yeah,
have the personnel in attack. It's just that we seem quite disjointed. So yeah, let's see what happens in January. But there's no foregone conclusion that we're going to spend money or we're going to spend big. Like you said, Double D, we might not spend anything.
this is what I'm saying.
So you can't rule it out. We can't just assume we're going to spend because we're doing so rubbish right now. It could be, we're like, well, look, we're rubbish. Why are we spending money? It could be as simple as that. And be like, let's see maybe end of the season, and then we'll decide. Your budget was 400 million. Now your budget's 4 million for next summer
Yeah,
because you did so dead this season. It's business, so we have to take it with that kind of approach. So let's see how it goes. Wayne says if it won't matter if Slot is still here. True. Delulu Steve, big up Delulu Steve. He says, Oz, I'm proud of you, my bro. There are several LFC fan channels out there that are backing Slot no
no
matter
matter
what.
what.
I asked them what, and they said even if Slot gets us relegated, they'll back him. Bloody hell. That's my instant reaction to that comment. Appreciate the kind words, but that is madness if channels are saying that they'll back him until the death. Like, what is he, their uncle or something? Why are you backing him so tough like that? That's mad. Look, this is Liverpool Football Club. No one is bigger than the club, player or manager.
Yeah, yeah,
If the
yeah,
manager is doing terrible, unfortunately, he needs to be dismissed. It's as simple as that. Yes, I know that's not the Liverpool way. We don't like sacking managers. We like to give them an opportunity. But this is at an extreme level where we're losing back-to-back games, which is unheard of. Even
this is what I'm
Hodgson
saying.
and Roger era, we never lost like that. Yes, we lost bare games, but we never lost 6 on the bounce. And it wasn't even like we lost to, Man City, Arsenal, Chelsea. Like it weren't even all the best teams on the top half. We're losing against the teams that are fighting relegation. Do you know what I mean? You
it's an
can't back
absolute,
that.
it's an absolute mess, bruv. You start off the season, you beat Bournemouth. Yeah,
Yeah,
not an easy game. Not an easy game.
yeah,
Both of you at home or not. Because remember, last season we beat them 3-0. Keller had
yeah,
a bag of saves to make. You beat Arsenal. Burnley, you're expecting as a newly promoted to be able to beat them. You win away at Newcastle, not an easy place to go. So we almost fumbled it with 10 men, etc. Beat Arsenal. Then look at the teams that you're chopping points against. Don't get too soon. We always have a hard time when we go to Brentford. But some of these other results. The Man United game, we weren't even good in that, but we had enough chances to score 5.
yeah,
Isak, Salah, Gakpo, all guilty of missing.
yeah.
You get me, of missing big chances and whatnot. And just looking at it, just thinking it's meant to be the easy schedule now, but because obviously we've given them the blueprint on how to beat us, you're sitting there and you're thinking that are we even going to beat even Jab? We're going to play West Ham and Sunderland, and we're sitting here as fans, and we don't think we're going to beat either of them. That disgusts me, bro. This is absolutely ridiculous, bro. We're 12th. So that's what I'm saying. That I'm not like wholeheartedly slot out, but if he
No, but
went,
I hear
if he
you.
went, I can't defend him because
Yeah,
this is embarrassing, bro.
yeah.
Embarrassing. Every
Put it
time
this
teams are
way.
coming forward, they're like they're going to score
Put it this way. If he got sacked tomorrow, I wouldn't even feel bad. I wouldn't even feel like sorry
because you
for
know
him.
the reason. Because you know the reason why.
Yeah, it's there. Like I get it. As a fan base, we're emotional. We're very loyal when it
Uh,
comes to our managers and stuff.
yeah,
But you got to think of a bit of logic, just to say politely. Like you can't just blindly be so loyal to someone just because of what they achieved last season. Yes, don't get me wrong. We were over the moon that we won the league last season because it probably came at an unexpected time. We didn't think we would be challenging for the title due to,
yeah,
context. Klopp left, so Slot came in, big shoes to fill, difficult job, very, very difficult job for you to even get to anywhere near the top.
yeah,
But he achieved the impossible task. And look, I get it. This is why I've not been so vocal for the last few weeks because I've been frustrated for a long time, which you probably know, Double D. But I've said to the viewers and everyone on the channel that I'm gonna give him a bit of time. I'm gonna give him
yeah,
the benefit of the doubt. He's got credit in the bank for winning the league title.
yeah,
Let's see what he does. Let's see if he can turn around. Let's see if he tries different formation, different systems. Because for me, then it's like he's being a proactive coach. He's
yeah,
trying to find a solution, but he's not doing that. So when someone's not doing that, then why are you there? As simple as that. Why are you there? You're just taking a paycheck and just letting the team run. All that hard work you did and that Klopp did as well. Because let's
yeah.
be honest, he inherited Klopp's team. You're messing it all up, and I can't defend that. And I'm very surprised. And I'm not saying I want everyone to be slot out. Like you've explained to me, Double D, why you're not quite there yet. You're still slot in,
Yeah,
and there is an understanding that fine, I get it. You're trying to be a bit more measured because of potential candidates. We don't know who would come in and make a difference. That's a big talking point as well. And
yeah,
that was one of the reasons why I wasn't slot out a month ago because I didn't see a number one candidate. When we've been linked with players and managers, you get that gut feeling like, you know what, this is the guy.
yeah,
Like when people ask about Salah's replacement, for me, it's Elise. It's Elise and no one else.
yeah,
Like he's the guy for me, and I'm sure a lot of fans will agree with that as well. So there's an undisputed choice. There isn't for a managerial position for me, but it's gotten so bad now that I would be willing to bring in a Steven Gerrard just to get that good feel back factor back to the club.
yeah, yeah.
I know it
Someone that
sounds lame, but we
someone
need
that
it.
understands, the
Yes,
club, the ethics of the club, the
yeah,
fabric of the
yeah,
club,
and
and
we
then
don't we don't
and
really
then
need his
maybe
position.
it might be easier because Gerard said
Yes,
he's learnt more not being in management in
yeah,
terms of what he needs to adjust when he does get a next job.
yes,
Um, so maybe it might be easier for someone that's watching the game sometimes in the stadium, but
outside,
at home or whatever, to be
yeah,
able to make them changes because then you're not doubting yourself. You're like, oh look, we need this person here. Go out immediately. DM centre back
yeah,
in the thingy. Plead with the board. I know you spent a lot in the summer, but we still need this because we are looking this bad at the moment. You get what I'm saying, Bob? And then that just
yeah.
changes everything.
No, I agree.
It changes
I
everything.
agree.
It will be too late to salvage the title, but it will
Yeah,
be enough to be able to, if it was to work, that is, because it doesn't necessarily
yeah,
mean that person will come in and be able to do things
yeah.
immediately. at least get into the Champions League places
Yeah,
because it's looking. This could be one of the worst seasons after winning the league
yeah,
that we would have
yeah.
seen, bruv. You get what I'm saying, bruv?
It's hard to admit that, but that is true. It could be one of the worst reigns
Yeah,
from a current champion, like the following season. Like it's really poor. It's like Leicester City levels. Like it's really poor. So for me, it's like you know, Gerrard would have been an option for me, but let's say Jurgen Klopp doesn't want to come back to management, which
yeah,
is a possibility, despite his comments on that podcast. It is still a possibility.
yeah,
It could be Gerrard that comes in and is that short term solution because
yeah,
I feel like he will galvanize the squad. He doesn't need to be a prime time tactician for things to work.
yeah,
I think he'll know what the players possess as a skill set,
yeah,
and he'll find the formation for it to work.
yeah,
That's how I see it because we have a lot of quality players. Over the years, we've had to be more tactically aware because some players might have weaknesses in the game, but we have a lot of players that have, prime strengths, and
yeah,
that can be the difference makers going forward.
yeah,
So I feel like we just need someone to be a coach, a motivator, rather than a cold tactician. And we
yeah,
don't really need that at this stage. Next season, we can have another discussion because it will depend on where we finish,
yeah,
how the squad is, and we can revisit that again. But that is what you do at the end of the season as a review,
yeah,
rather than during the season. Right now, we need to find a solution, and
yeah,
I don't think Slot is the guy. Like he's not showing it to me. Like he could turn it around, who knows? But right now, history will tell me he hasn't done anything this season to possess that kind of viewpoint. So yeah, crazy, crazy times. Let's go through. There's a few more comments, and then we'll get into um the match preview, of course, for tomorrow. So yeah, Bowl is asking, who's Steve? Name the channels that are, die hard slot fans. So I'm sure Steve will respond shortly. Clams Pick Up Yourself, he says, I'm not too fussed about getting another attacker like Semenyo, but I would definitely benefit from Gay. Yes.
yeah,
If I was to give you a priority list, centre back, DM, and then attacker for me. The
yeah,
DM I don't think is realistic, so it's centre back and attacker.
yeah.
Um, whereas Gay, who knows? Bose asks, is it Redmen TV? And Lucy says, yes, it's them and some smaller channels. I'm quite surprised by that, to be fair. Mostly based in the US. I'm surprised. But, you know, everyone is entitled to their opinion. This is Daz's lineup for tomorrow. So we'll me and Double D will do it shortly, but I'll present Daz's. So he's gone for Ali, Gomez, Ibu, Virgil, Robbo, Ryan, Dom, Maka, Mo, Isak, and Hugo Katiga. So Hugo on the left, that seems. Let's see if that is going to happen. Um, Steve, Steve said it's like they're a fan of Slot and not the club. Well, that would come across that way. To be fair, not surprised. Arme, big up Arme says hello Oz. I've heard the early rumor lineup. Oh, okay. Alisson, Kirkis, Van Dijk, Konate, Jones, Graf, Maka, Sabozlai, Gakpo, and Katika Salah. That,
If that is the team, there he goes again. You're going to play Curtis Jones, who really should be starting midfield in this game because it gives us something different with the way that he can carry the ball, actually get past the man, shoot past whatever at
yeah,
right back. Like, come on, man. Like
yeah,
Ramsey should just let me go on loan or be sold in the summer. Because if that is the team, that's ridiculous, man. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah. I know.
Gomez should be starting centre half for Ibu.
Yeah, because you're not really sending that message out to Konate that he needs to be on top of his game. Like he can walk away with murder right now. That's what it feels like. So I don't know. Wayne says I agree. Van Dijk is elite on the ball, but he's not good at passing other than 5 or 10 yards or the long ball to Salah. I'm talking line breaking pass through the middle or attackers slash midfielders. I think he has it in his locker. It might be more of a tactical thing that he's not asked to play in that way. Maybe he's asked to give it to the midfielders like your McAllisters to kind of spray the ball and be the deep playmakers. So it might be a tactical thing. But for example, if we played a back three, then he would be obliged to play more of a passing range. So that's what would be interesting. If that was Slot's thinking of changing the formation, then maybe that would have been the blueprint. But we'll see how it goes
Yeah,
forward. Ahmed says John's right back, so about to midfield. I'll be honest with you. I think it's the other way around. The way Slot's going on, you can see Sabozlai like a right back again, which is not what I want. It's not what you should do with your best performing player.
Yeah,
But Slot doesn't keep those factors in there, unfortunately. So I don't know. It's a bit annoying. Ahmed says Gomez not fit enough to start. Yeah, I don't think he is. He's been taking injections. He's barely trained last
yeah,
week. That's why it's not confirmed that in the press conference today. That's why he had to go with Szoboszlai ahead of Gomez, which I still think is it's a terrible decision. He could have gone with other options in that game.
uh,
Um, like Ramsey could have been given a run out, in my opinion. But yeah, we'll see. Paul says fantastic channel this is and love to see Double D as well. What a guy, big up yourself, Bob. Appreciate the
big
kind
up,
words
bro.
as always.
Big up.
Wayne said if Jones plays, it should be in midfield. He's the only one who can keep the ball in midfield. I hear you, but I don't want Szoboszlai in right
There you
back.
go. There you go.
I can't have that. You're
There
right
you
about
go.
Jones in your assessment. I'm not saying you're wrong, Wayne, but I can't have Szoboszlai at right back. That's not acceptable. I'd rather be Grav, Jones, and Szoboszlai in midfield, and then you put someone else at right back. And unfortunately, you have to drop McAllister, but it's it has to be done because he's been so poor this season. So that's the way I would look at it. To be fair, AHLEC because so he said this season was supposed to be last season. We have to give him time, in my opinion. I hear you. Like in retrospective, if this was the first season, then I'll be like, you know, this is understandable. But I don't know. I can't accept that. You know, the way we spent all that money, signed all these top quality players, in my opinion, and we've digressed as a team, it doesn't click for me. But I hear what you're saying. You expect a new manager to lose new players as well. Last season team was Klopp's team where they knew how to play together already. Yeah, but there's still nothing to suggest that it's going to work straight away. And you don't have to do so much in terms of recruitment to embed a philosophy. So I, I don't completely agree with that. I feel like there should still we should still be able to win a game. We should still be able to beat a low block, in my opinion. And we're not doing that, unfortunately. Um, Clamp said when Klopp was in charge, you could see his style of play. What actually is not style of play? All I
Exactly.
see is we play out from the back and no high press. Well, according
Exactly.
to Slot, it was kill them with passes. That was his famous line
Yeah.
when he joined. But he's killing this team because they don't know how to pass the ball. That's
Do you
how it
remember
feels right
last
now.
season? Do you remember last season when
Yeah.
we pressed, but he was saying that he watched the tapes and how tired the players got. So
Mm,
this is obviously in regards to him watching Klopp's games, and he was saying now he doesn't want us to do unnecessary pressing or whatever. But the press is literally non-existent. We let Man
facts.
United come to our ground and play out from the back with ease. Man United, they're not that, bruv. And then other teams have just been easy to carefully bring the ball forward and do their thing. It's disgusting, bruv. Like, non-existent, no press. We're just there. We're just there. And then we just let people just pass through and get like, what are we doing, bruv? What are we doing?
Yeah.
PSV, top of the Eredivisie, scoring for fun. Everyone will sit there on paper, oh no, at home, that's going to be easy. You watch. If we don't equip ourselves properly, yeah, later on
Yeah.
today, because obviously it's after midnight now, you watch
Yeah.
what's going to happen, bruv.
Mm.
Like, I just
Ah,
don't get it, bro. I don't get it.
it's frustrating. I hear you, man. I'm gonna say if we win against PSV, West Ham, but lose to Sunderland, you should still sack him. Yeah.
He needs to win
Uh,
all three. For us to ease up on Slot, he needs to win all three games, bro.
he
Because
does.
I've had it, bro. He has to win all three games. Don't care about the performances or convincing. I don't care if it's
Yeah,
last minute winners as before. You just need to
I
win.
agree.
Then that will build the confidence again, and then we'll start rattling people off. That when we play
Yeah,
Arsenal early in January, yeah, we will
yeah,
could go to the Emirates and at least get a point because we have no, regardless of the fact that Arsenal look in pole position, like, and as it stands, they will win the league. We have no reason to fear them. No reason.
yeah.
You
True.
understand? We've gone to the Emirates, not played well last season, got a 2-2 draw because of Trent's excellent pass that freed up Nunes to cut it back for Salah. We
Yeah,
beat them 2-0 in the cup in the first half when they were the better team, but they never took their chances. Regardless of if you're the better team or not, if you don't score, then you can't win the football match. But
mm,
what we have to do is start changing our luck because then some of these defeats will be draws because
Yeah.
it's one of them ones where we're very bad at the moment, but also as well, there's no luck. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The City goal, City were completely outplaying us, right? I say
Yeah.
no luck. Actually, we got though we lost the game anyway. We got a slice of luck against Forest because I didn't think the second goal was handball. That should have stood, but we lost anyway. So it's a minor.
Didn't
It
make a
wasn't a
difference.
game changing
Yeah.
thing in that. But that the goal against City, against Brentford, we should have had a penalty on Gakpo, and then they got a penalty when it was 50-50 whether or not it's being adjudged to be outside the box or whatnot. So though
Yeah.
Brentford were better
Yeah.
than us, the game hung on those. So if those were draws, though
Yeah.
it would have been what 2 points extra, for instance.
Yeah.
And obviously this is hypothetical because there still would have been time left in both football matches, so we could
Yeah.
have lost them anyway. But
Yeah.
those 2 extra points, though we've been diabolical still, things
Mm.
are pretty different because the way how there's so many teams, especially stacked on 18 points, 2 extra points, then you look at it and you think, okay, if we just redo that, we're still pathetic at the moment, but you get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So our luck will change. If I believe we will make our own luck in terms of if we perform better, but that means a better style
Mm.
and just like a backbone. The confidence is low. Now, don't get it twisted. Remember, these players are human beings as well. And
Yeah.
we saw Salah after the Bournemouth game, the opening game, crying, obviously, with the fans when they were singing Jota's name. Andy
Yeah.
Robertson, I watched Scotland last week, and the first
Yeah.
thing in his interview after they qualified was that him and Diogo used to talk on a weekly basis about
Yeah.
playing
Qualifying
in the
World
World
Cup.
Cup,
Yeah.
playing in the World
Mm.
Cup, and what it would mean and whatnot. So don't get twisted. The players have got a massive thing. Other
Yeah.
people that don't support us won't realize it. They'll play it down. You're still this
No.
whole. It's an
Yeah.
excuse.
Yeah.
It's not an excuse.
Of
An
course.
active player, an active first team player has passed away. This is
Yeah.
madness, bruv. It
Mm.
happens in. This has happened before with players before, who've had
Yeah.
cardiac arrest, etc. But in regards to the Premier League, the league we all watch the most,
Yeah.
um, and most of the people listen to this. There might be some other people. There might be some people from different countries that might watch the football, obviously in their league just as much or more. Has passed away. To think about that in the squad, they've still obviously they're not going to put anyone in this position in the dressing room, etc. That will play on things. So also, sort of guys are
Yeah.
down. They're performing badly, and they're coming back and they're thinking we're letting him down. We're letting the
Mm.
man watching over us from heaven down and whatnot as well.
Yeah.
So there
Hey.
are nuances and there are subtopics within what is going on with us. But first of all, we sort it out on the pitch, and then things all round will be able to improve. But I'm telling you, bro,
Yeah.
he's walking. He's walking a tightrope in terms of things
Yeah.
right now. Stop being so transparent in your press conferences. Get your selections right and just apply some sense to what you're doing. Consistently
Mm.
taking people out of their best positions and still
Yeah.
expecting to get results. One
Yeah.
thing was, as we said, we're going on that run of scoring goals, that we always look like scoring, even if it is we're going to lose because end up losing because of the amount of chances that we're conceding. But we don't even look like scoring anymore. We don't
No.
even look like scoring. It's so predictable, the build-up play.
Yeah. It's so
Gakpo's going
true.
to Gakpo's going to cut in and cross. Salah can't
Yeah.
even beat his man anymore to get a shot in. And then
Yeah.
centrally, what it will just it's just light work for the centre backs that we're coming up against
Yeah.
because no one's actually beating someone. We're not even shooting as much as we could.
Yeah. We're not.
Since that
Mm.
Madrid game, since that we beat Madrid, how many shots have you seen
We
from long
barely shot.
range?
Yeah. We barely shot. Really haven't.
Oh, man. And we made chances Saturday and still didn't
Mm.
score. We've made 24 chances in the last two games. We're not taking them. We're not shooting properly in the right positions. Or we are shooting, we're missing, or
Yeah.
easy for the keeper to make a save if he's on target. There's just so many
Yeah.
issues. So, I mean,
It's
he,
fine.
he looks deflated. I don't know how a manager can win the league like he did regardless of what people are going to say it's Klopp's team or whatever. Because let's be realistic, we won the league last in 2020. So even with just some of these players here, Klopp didn't even win the league with those players. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they can sit there and be like, "Oh yeah, with Klopp team and
Yeah.
whatnot." But how you're looking out of your depth, not 6 months after winning the title, makes absolutely no sense to me.
Yeah. That's why they're calling the ball to throw, aren't they? That because it's just very unusual for someone to win the league and then I don't know, you start questioning their credibility as a
Yeah.
coach. Like it sounds extreme, but that is the reality because he's just getting everything wrong. Like nothing is working. And you're right. Sometimes you need a bit of luck, but you got to make a luck as well sometimes as well. And
Yeah,
he's not doing anything to kind of achieve that. So yeah, it's a bit crazy. Just gonna go through some comments and then me and
yeah,
Double D will present our lineups as well. Bo said if there was a new Klopp out there right now, he would have been sacked by now.
yeah,
I don't know if there was for me, Klopp is one of a kind, but if there was someone that had his energy and his enthusiasm, but mix it with that, coaching philosophy of being, a Gergen pressing team, I think we'd be on fully on board. That's how I see it. But you never know in the modern day, I guess. Some said if people could see glimpses of what Slot was trying to get the players to do, when maybe people would be slotting, but people can't see what he's trying to do. So I feel majority of Liverpool fans right now would vote for Slot out. That's true.
yeah,
We're not
yeah,
seeing what his ideology is. We don't know what it is.
yeah,
So that's our concern. That's why we feel like maybe he's out of his depth, and maybe the boots are too big for him to fill right now, and he's just not capable of taking the club forward. That's how I'm seeing it at the minute. Brazy says Slot will turn things around. We will go undefeated in December, lads, and won't lose another league game. Bloody hell, Brazy. I wonder what week you're having right now, because boy, I'm not as optimistic as you, unfortunately. Kratos says if the Alicia transfer doesn't work, would you move Semenyo to the right and buy another left winger like a Barcola or Rodrigo? Yeah, it's a possibility. Um, I actually feel like he's probably been earmarked as Salah's long-term replacement, but in the short term, can play on the left and can play on the right as well. And also, looking at our current squad, Rio would have gained valuable experience, and then he would have been able to fight for a spot in that left wing position. So, the Barcolas and Rodriguez, they can also be options as well. But I think Semenyo, and that's why I'm really on us signing Semenyo just because he's both footed and he's so effective with both feet. When he's on the right, the way he shoots with his left foot is so clean,
yeah,
so
yeah,
accurate.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
he gives
Did
us a different dimension. So
did you
he's a
see that? Did you see that training video from the summer when he was doing shooting drills?
nah, I didn't. You gotta
If I
send it to me,
find it,
man.
I'll send it to you. He
Yeah,
shoots
yeah,
the ball so cleanly with both feet,
yeah,
like it's like they're throwing it into him, innit? And obviously like the
yeah,
coaching and whatnot, and he's just
yeah,
turning and he's so clean. You wouldn't, you if you don't know, you wouldn't know from watching that. You wouldn't know what foot he is.
yeah.
You,
There are
you get
times
what
I
I'm
know where
saying?
I've watched him in the past, and I'm like, oh shit, is he left-footed? Like I
Yeah,
would question myself, but actually no, he's just effective. Because then the following game he'll play on the other wing,
yeah,
and then he's like shooting with his right foot. I'm
yeah,
thinking,
yeah,
this guy, like, so for me, and it really stands out, and there's his technique in shooting as well. And I feel like he'll be one of those like hard-working wingers where he'll support the fullback, but at the same time, really effective on that counter attack as well. So
yeah.
he's definitely top of the list, and hopefully we can get him on board in January. Bo says, start with the same team once again. Lazy tactics if that is the case, unfortunately. Carl, big up Carl. He says, is modern day football rubbish? Probably going to sound like an old man, but
It's
when we watched football growing up in the 90s and the early noughties, it was different levels.
yeah.
I don't know if you agree with that, Double D.
This is yeah. That's what I was going to say.
Mm,
It's too structured now. There were
yeah.
more free spirits, more
Mm.
mavericks, more
Number 10.
entertainers back when we were youngers. Youngers were proper wiggers. They were basically what you see from the likes of Doku, though he's only just improving his
Yeah.
end product now. You saw that on both wings.
Yeah.
Even players that didn't have pace necessarily would beat their man and get balls in. We, being older Liverpool fans over 30 and
Yeah.
that, Steve
Yeah.
McManaman, everyone thought he was fast. Steve McManaman wasn't outrageously fast, but he's one of the best dribblers the Premier League has ever seen. And he'll
Yeah.
be on the wing,
Technically
and whether
so
he was
good.
on the left or the right, he'll
Yes.
twist people inside out technically. Look at that 95 Cup final when we beat Bolton, both goals. Cutting
Yeah.
off the wing, step over, twist, turn, bang. You get what I'm saying?
He's talented, man.
It's
Yeah.
too structured now. It's too about systems and
Yeah.
whatnot. And that's why it's easier for there to be more of attritions now because
Yeah.
people are going to cancel each other out because there's not really that person there to come with the flair and win whatever. So yeah, it's not as good to watch now.
No. I agree. I definitely concur with
It's
everything you said there.
week in,
You're
week out
not seeing
football.
individuals anymore.
Yeah,
You're taking that. that street football slash that playground football element of out of the game where when you play football when you're younger you're enjoying the game, you're running around, there's energy there. Like, if Ronaldinho was playing in this era, like I think he might struggle a little bit because he might not be able to. Of course, he'll still be elite, but you wouldn't see him playing a
Yeah,
certain
in
way.
terms of the demands from the manager, innit? The manager might be
Yes,
like, "Oh, do this, whatnot,
yeah, he might
etc.,
be
etc."
so
Yeah,
like focused on shape and systems that you take that sort of that individual ability away from the player,
yeah,
and that's what makes everyone stand out. Like back in, sound like I remember back in our day when we watched football, like
yeah,
number tens were like that was a prime position, and those
yeah,
number tens were such a joy to watch because they could do everything on the ball.
yeah,
Magicians on the ball, but they can shoot, they can defend, they can.
yeah.
It was a joy to watch. It really was. So yeah, unfortunately, not to sound nostalgic,
But even,
modern
but
day football
even,
isn't the
but,
same.
but even the ones, whether they were played 10 or they played 8, even the ones who weren't demanded to,
Yeah,
sorry, even the ones who didn't track back or whatever, that Zidane as
yeah.
an 8 or whether he might be used as a 10.
Got that 10.
I even remember a game he played for Real Madrid. I think they played Bayern Munich, and
Mm,
though the R9 was playing in that game, Zidane played ahead of him.
yeah.
If you remember that game back, the Burnham, I think Madrid won 1-0 if I don't remember, if I remember correctly. And
Mm,
like as a false nine back in the day when no one worked, that it wasn't even
yeah.
part of like
Fashionable.
within the football vocabulary, you get what I'm saying and
Yeah,
whatnot. But they were allowed to not track back because the way the
yeah,
team was structured, they'd be in a
yeah,
system where they could still do what they need to do
yeah,
defensively without them because
yeah,
they know once they get that ball to that player, he's gonna beat a man, he's gonna do and create for them. But now it's like, oh,
yeah,
he go here, etc. So you're seeing teams attack sometimes. There's nobody in the goddamn box.
yeah.
There's nobody in the box.
That's something I was saying in the summer. The striker market is crazy because they aren't lethal
It's,
strikers
how
in
many
this
lads are
modern
there
day.
more? It's people that used to play on the wing that go up
Yeah,
top.
up top.
There's
Yeah.
even sometimes midfield guys that have been used up top. Like obviously
Mm,
because of Arsenal's lack of strikers, how many times since he's been at the club has Mikel Marino had to fill in up top
yeah,
for them,
up top.
etc.
Yeah,
It's one of those ones where the lack of nines is crazy. Now, don't get twisted. Alexander Isak is an unbelievable player, but because of the lack of nines, because remember how much he's played on the
yeah,
left for Sweden, or
yeah,
even left or right as Sociedad or whatever, because of the lack of strikers in world football,
yeah.
that is why he cost the amount that he
That much
costs.
money. Yeah,
You get what I'm saying? But
yeah,
if we go back in the day, finishers like, and we've had numerous of ones ourselves.
yeah,
We've had Torres, we've had
mm,
Fowler, we've had Owen. You can
yeah,
even go to the Sturridges and in the latter part of his Liverpool career, Suarez,
yeah,
because in the early part, Suarez was missing
yeah, yeah, yeah,
all the time.
yeah.
But then what in the 12 from 2012 onwards, he kicked on. But his first year, 18 month at the club, he was
Mm,
doing nonsense in front of goal. You get what I'm saying? We've had a lot of the great. We even had Morientes for a little bit. You go
yeah,
like you go Semillon and you go to the Batistutas, Bierhoffs, the Amorosos, all these men
yeah.
there, Crespo, Shevchenko, Salas, all these men here. Where are these brothers now? Where are they?
There were some
Where
ballers
are
in
they
those
in
days.
world? Where
Especially
are they
Serie
in
A.
world
Serie A had
football?
some ballers as well. Your Zamaronos, your Rakobas, your
Oh,
those type of players.
come on, man. Come on, man. Rakoba's left foot. You think how many people
Oi.
in football today can talk to that man's left foot and that? So yeah, it's nowhere near as good. That's the short answer is nowhere near as good, but I could talk
No,
for an hour about how bad the state
it's
of
true.
football, the state of football is today. You know, remember you used to watch games and you could not leave the room or whatever. I can literally now be
Yeah.
watching a game and go to the flipping bathroom or feed away or have a
Yeah,
glance at a laptop on and I won't miss nothing
it's
because it's just nonsense going on, bro.
it's true. But back in there, you have to focus and watch the game because
Yeah.
so much has been unlocked, and you're thinking, you can't miss a beat, like you can't
Yeah,
miss a second. That's how games were, and they were enjoyable as well. There's entertaining
yeah,
games as well. You saw players with flair and creativity. Now you're saying number nines aren't, there's a it's a rare commodity now. Number
yeah,
tens are not, there's not abundance of them either. And if they are, they're
yeah,
being converted to playing, left-sided
yeah,
attackers
yeah,
or number eights to an extent as well. So
yeah,
you're taking away that sort of individual aspect of a player. that makes them different. That makes
Special, yeah.
them special
Mentioned
as well.
and also
Um,
as well, and also as well, you had better strikers back then. You had better centre backs than that as well.
yeah,
How many central midfielders are we seeing play
mm,
centre back now? Before, if you
yeah,
was a fullback, you only played centre half when needed, but you're getting people moved here, etc. Now, come on,
yeah. It's
man,
too much.
come on,
Yeah,
bro.
it's true.
Best man.
I agree with you. I agree with you. Boss said no car, but stock tactics. Is no, I don't know. Maybe it's our age, but or we're probably thinking from a more of a nostalgic point of view. But I feel like the game growing up when we were like early teens or whatnot, the game was just different levels, man. It
Yeah,
was really enjoyable to watch, and not even just Premier League, like all the leagues. Well, I would be like invested in watching all the leagues. Like
yeah,
that's how much I enjoyed football growing up. So yeah, crazy. Wayne says I'm not seeing Sobo at right back either. Ramsey at right back.
yeah.
That's an interesting selection. Me and Double D will talk about that
Yeah.
very soon. So Ball's team is Ali, Jones, Endo, Virgil, Robbo, Grab, Sobozlai, Chiesa, Ekatike, Rio, and Isak. So fully rotated squad there. Be interested to
I
see.
wouldn't necessarily mind that, clear it up
Mhm.
and then pick your team for West Ham because
Yeah,
PSV are probably going to have so many attacks here. If we do play properly and press, the amount of
yeah,
energy that they exert will mean the early game Sunday they won't be ready, bruv.
yeah. I hear it. H says he's a fraud. Nah, this guy out here to be trolling undefeated. He says, I think that's a reference to Brazy. My man is on some good stuff. Some say, why doesn't Salah get dropped for Chiesa?
Later.
Honestly, sometimes this year Salah's been gone missing for the whole game. We may as well be playing with 10 men. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah,
I agree with that. The
yeah,
only one small defense I'm going to have for Salah is that we saw last season when he's closer to goal, the damage that he can do.
he's clutch.
All these left backs are having eaten him up, right?
Yeah,
So why are they having him play more as a touchline winger this season? Have
yeah,
him inside. Have
mm,
him inside.
yeah,
I understand Trent's not there anymore, but have him inside, and then whoever's playing goes there, rather than having Bradley invert, because Bradley is not
yeah,
necessarily always make the best decision. He gets himself in
yeah,
some great goal scoring positions, Bradley, when he does invert, but
yeah,
necessarily the best on the ball will make the best decisions. So have Salah closer to goal, so then he can shoot. He doesn't have to beat the left back because he's literally getting the ball sometimes. Sometimes he's not even actually touching the ball like to try and beat the left back.
yeah,
He's just like kind of jinking, and
yeah,
then they take the ball from him.
yeah.
It's like he's not even
He's
decided what he's doing. It.
slow, just slow
He's
to
just
do what
slowed
we need to
down.
do.
Like
Mm, I agree. No, it's a strange one, but I feel like Chiesa. Yes, he can kind of technically replace Salah on the right side, but I feel like Chiesa should be involved a lot more, and not necessarily
yeah,
on that side, but he can clearly play on the left.
he
I
can
feel
easily
like
play on the left.
when he plays on the left, like he brings something completely different to what Gakpo does because his understanding of the game is different. His movement's better. He's
He's
finding little
he's
pockets, but he's
he's
in goal scoring
he's
opportunities as
yeah,
well.
his guile and industry is better
Yeah,
than
yeah,
Gakpo there. So in a short time of Chiesa being on the ball, he could do just as much as Gakpo could do when Gakpo gets a lot of time on it. Because also as well, because it's wild because he plays on the left.
mm,
Gakpo doesn't use his left at a certain time. He beats because he's not slow by any means. Gakpo. Certain
no,
times he shifts the ball past the right back, and then you're waiting for him to play a ball in, but then he cuts back to check back onto his right foot, and then another player comes back to be a help defender, and then the opportunity is gone, or he will overhit the ball to the back post, all cuts in. Turns, takes another touch, and then goes to shoot when there were options that he could have passed to. But the joke is as well is
mm,
that as much as we can cuss on those parts of Gakpo's game, he has been delivering GA,
yeah,
which has been needed because of the lack of what Salah's doing. Isak's not got started yet properly, and Ekatike started like a house on fire, and he's been trying, but hasn't scored as
yeah.
much in the last month. So
Well, we've been mugging him off a little bit. He starts some games, he's benched, like there's no consistency. And I feel like
yeah,
personally, I think Ekitike should have started against Forest, and then this would
yeah,
have been
yeah,
the game to play
defo. Then
Isak.
Isak against PSV, yeah, give him 60
Yeah,
to 70 minutes against PSV. It would have made sense. It
exactly.
would have made
Like
complete sense.
that's the way to manage both of them because you're playing the informed striker in a more important game on
Yeah,
paper, and then the PSV one is a free hit in my eyes because we can still gather points as the tournament goes on. But with Isak, you're allowing him to play in the European stage. You'll have a bit more freedom. That should help give him a bit of space on the ball, build
Yeah,
that confidence, and then it should affect him going forward in a more positive way. So yeah, Slot just hasn't read the room, unfortunately, and
yeah.
he's done it the complete opposite. But yeah, very annoying. When it says to at Double D, McManaman versus Celtic runs the full length of the pitch with the ball and scores. I remember that.
You know it,
I
you know,
remember
and
that.
then the joke, and then after joke was that goal. Obviously, UEFA Cup side was on the Thursday.
Mm,
We played
yeah,
Villa on the Monday, and he scored a similar goal against Villa at home. But he scored, he finished it on his right foot. The left, Celtic
yeah,
one was his left foot, obviously as well. But Mandelman was that's one of my favourite, as
yeah.
one of
He
my
was
top
cold.
10. He's one of my top 10
Mm,
Liverpool players all time. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
and he was one of those players where he can play on the left, but he's just as effective on the right. Like
On the right
he
hand
doesn't
side,
really
yeah,
matter what wing he plays. Like he
yeah.
can be so effective on both sides. So, nah,
Guy
he
was
was a class
class.
player. Yeah, he was class.
Man like Shaggy, he was class, man.
Yeah. Clatter says I'm asking a lot of transfer questions here. That's all good, no problem at all.
Yeah.
He says, but who would you guys choose between Wharton, Baliba, and Elliot Anderson? Both Wharton and
Ooh,
Anderson have had excellent games against us. That is true. Who would
good,
you go
good.
for, Double D?
That's an
That is an
excellent
excellent
question.
question.
I've
Mm,
been a fan of Wharton. His ball carrying ability, and I don't know what it is. Everything seems to look better when the left footer does it
yeah.
than the right.
It's
Belieber's
true.
good, and Belieber will bring and Wharton battles, likes
Yeah.
getting into wins his draws and that. Belieber would bring that bit more physicality to the midfield, and
Yeah.
actually got a decent left foot on him as well.
Uh,
He can't break the lines with the passes as well as Wharton can, but he'll
yeah.
bring that physicality there because I don't like the way we get bullied. Even in winning the league last season, we had some games where we got bullied in midfield. We
Yeah.
beat Chelsea 2-1 at Anfield last season, and we got bullied in the midfield, and we won the game. It was that brilliant pass from Salah to Curtis Jones,
Yeah.
obviously, we won it. And Elliot Anderson's very good. I've rated him from Newcastle, though. But out of the three who I would pick, I would probably go Wharton because I think he's the most press resistant out of the three. But Elliot
Yeah.
Anderson is a very good dribbler as well. I'd take any of those three, though. I wouldn't be disappointed if we
Yeah.
got any of those three. But
Yeah.
they'd all cost a lot of money. But Wharton
Yeah.
would probably be my preference.
Yeah.
But I'll take any of them. I'll take any of them, man. But Belieber, they're talking about 100 million for Belieber, so
Yeah.
that's
It's
not happening.
crazy.
You get me?
I would agree with you. I would go for Wharton because I feel like Wharton gives you the better balance in terms of he can do the dirty work. Like
Yeah,
he can tackle, he can be destructive to the opponent, but his poor ball playing ability gives us an advantage.
yeah,
We all want a number six, right? But I still want my number six to be a playmaker as well.
yeah,
And Belieber, as good as he is, I don't think he has the eye of the pass to unlock,
yeah,
the
yeah,
defenses or low blocks or anything, or
yeah,
even mid blocks as well. So for me, Elliot Anderson, I rate. I feel like he's got a fantastic engine, really good
yeah,
technically,
yeah,
and I feel like he would actually give us a good balance as well.
yeah,
But I would probably go with Wharton, and I think Wharton, looking at our squad alongside Gravenberch, would be a great combination
yeah.
as a duo. I think they'll complement each other really well. So I agree with you. I would go with Wharton, but if the
Believe,
club went with any of these three,
yeah,
I wouldn't be annoyed because they're all very good in their own
yeah,
right.
all very good. Belieber, we never get bullied in midfield with Belieber there though. That he's
Yeah,
eating.
yeah,
Belieber's eating, man.
that's the advantage, 100%.
You get
He's
me?
not gonna mess around
Belieber's.
then. It's true. That would be the advantage. But Wharton's quite a big lad as well. Like he can handle himself and he likes to get stuck in as well. So
Yeah,
I've just given him the slight edge because of his technical
yeah.
ability. I
The
think he's got
only
more in the looker.
worry is the only worry though in saying that I
Yeah.
prefer Wharton out of them three. He's the most injury prone out of those three as well.
Who's that? Wharton?
Wharton's the most injury out of those three
Mm,
players. Wharton's the most
yeah.
injury prone as well.
That would be a concern. That would be a concern, yeah. Bo says, don't think Ramsey is available though, not registered. That's just in the Champions League, isn't it? He said yes. So I've just had a quick check, and that is unfortunately true. He
Probably,
wasn't in
probably,
he wasn't
yeah,
registered in Arsenal's 22-man senior squad. I don't know if he falls into that sort of young age category, but I don't think he would be available. I didn't hear it in the press conference, but the assumption would be that he's not available, which is a little bit
Yeah.
annoying. But
Hopefully he's one
yeah,
of the
but
homegrown, but I actually don't remember. I actually didn't check whether he was on that list or
I
not. I
don't
remember
even
you.
know if he'll be homegrown.
I
'Cause
remember
he's not
you.
been at the club for that long, has he? How old
I
is
remember
he?
you to show on it. I don't. Ram is he 21 now? Was he
Yeah.
22? But we brought him from. Was it Scott? Was it a
It
Scottish
was
team?
from Scotland.
We
It
got him from. So yeah,
was
he
Aberdeen or Kilmarnock, one of the
yes, they
Aberdeen, I
probably
think it was.
he probably doesn't qualify then because
No, 'cause remember
wouldn't have
Scott.
had enough years. Yeah, he wouldn't have had enough years to be homegrown. So yeah, so likelihood is he's not in the squad. You actually did. I remember looking at the start of the season, but I can't remember if he was on it or not. And
I'm gonna
uh,
double check now, but I don't think he is. To be fair,
you did a show on it as well, but I don't remember. I don't
yeah.
remember.
Let's have a look. I don't think he is. Let's see. Mm, no, he's not listed as any of the defenders, so no, I don't think he is. Unfortunately.
uh,
Okay, that's a bit of a span in the works, unfortunately, but
yeah,
you know.
so it probably is going to be Jones or Slobbo then,
Bloody hell. All right, we'll have to discuss and see who we want to go with on that one.
because
Bolton,
he
he
won't
would.
got end on there.
Oh, do you know what? I'd do anything for us a different profile there, but we'll discuss that shortly. Bolton, he would go with Anderson. That's fair enough. I really
Yeah,
rate Anderson. I think he's been
yeah,
fantastic for Forest. Is Verts fit for the game? From what I'm aware, no, he's not fit. There has been no further updates. I don't think he'll be available until at least next week. But I'm sure Slot will give us some clarity in the future. Uncle Ross says, big up Aussie and guests. You know, welcome, big up Uncle Ross. I hope you're well. And guys, please make sure to subscribe to Uncle Ross's channel as well. Wayne says, my team is Ali, Ramsey, Ibu, Van Dyke, Robbo, Grab, Sabozlai, Jones, XTK, Rio, and Feder. Um, So your bowlers could just confirm 22. He's not registered.
yeah,
Gomez for Ramsey then. So
yeah,
let's uh quickly move on, and I will present a slight analysis on our opponents, which is PSV. So they are currently top of the Eredivisie, 11 wins, one draw, and one defeat. Gus Still and Ismail Saibari, a player I believe scored against us last season. They're joint top scorers with 13 goals apiece. So they're flying right now. In terms of the Champions League, 4 games played, one win, which was where they smashed Napoli 6-2, two draws, and one defeat. 23rd in that big table. Of course, it's not groups anymore. It's one big phase.
yeah,
Uh, in terms of team news, as I just mentioned, no update on Verts, so I don't believe he'll be involved. And of course, Frimpong and Bradley remain on the sidelines. So it's another game where Sox got to decide who starts at right back. For PSV, no injuries from last weekend, other than Van Bommel and Plie, but who have been out for some time. So it'll be interesting to see who Peter Bosz presents in tomorrow evening's fixture. So what we'll do now is we will present the lineups. We'll do PSV very quickly, and then we'll speak about Liverpool in more detail.
oh,
So
good.
let me,
I've not even watched them this season, so I'm not even. I'm not. Or sorry, I've not watched a league game. I've seen their champion goals in their Champions League game, but
yeah,
I've not watched
same
a league game to be able to.
to say too much. Yeah, I've only
Yeah,
watched bits and
on
bobs
their
to be
team.
fair. So
Yeah,
okay, so let me remove the Semenya artwork because that's not what we're discussing right now. So PSV, uh, in terms of their potential lineup, they've got a goalkeeper in the name of Kovar. I believe he's their number one, so he will start there. They made a signing in the summer, and he goes by the name of Salah Eddin. So he was a player that they
yeah,
signed from Roma. They actually sold him, and then Roma ended up getting Simicas as his replacement.
yeah,
Although I don't think Roma have been pleased with Simicas's impact. Um, and there was even some rumors circling that they might send what do you call it? They might send Simicas back to Liverpool. I don't think there's any truth to that, but seems to be a lot of rumors circulating that we're trying to get loan players back, but I don't know if there's any truth to that. In terms of the team, they've got Dest, who is the American fullback who's been around the block to say the
Man like
least.
Serginho.
It's a junior, yeah. And then you've got Shoughton who predominantly
He's a
plays as a
baller.
DM.
He's a
He's good.
baller, bruv.
Yeah, he's
Like
good.
I was even shouting for us because I knew from seeing him sometimes in Italy that he was good, but even in the Euros, because obviously um, ne- Netherlands had people out,
Yeah.
so so he started. He was playing with Reinders in the Euros, very comfortable on the ball, gets his
Mm.
foot stuck in. He's very tidy on the ball. He's the type of person. If we're not on it in centre midfield tomorrow, if he starts, then he's going to dictate the pace of the game, and we could have we could have a few problems with it.
Yeah. No, he's very good. Very defensively sound. I remember when he was playing for Netherlands a couple of years ago, he was really, really good. So,
Yeah, in the
you know,
Euros, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
yeah, he was really
yeah,
good. Yeah, he was really good. And yeah, it's definitely stood out. He's one of those players I feel like, if Liverpool was smart, maybe could have got him on board because he would have brought a bit of sort of steel to our midfield.
yeah,
Wouldn't have been a long-term solution, but I feel like still could have done the job and would have fit into that sort of slot philosophy of, playing Dutch football. But, Slot didn't go for that kind of option. He's actually not signed a DM yet, so we're still waiting for that day to happen. In terms of the midfield, I think it will be Verman, who I've been very impressed with, to be fair. A very talented playmaker, good on the ball. So he's going to be an interesting player, one to look out for because he's going to set the tempo for the Dutch side. And then you've got Junior alongside a box to box player, very energetic. So I want to look out for as well. And then you've got man like man on that right hand side.
Dennis,
Uh,
Dennis Van Baller.
yeah, he's a baller. He's very, very talented. Trying to see where he is in this one. Let me just type in PSV. Might come up then. Um, there we go. There he is. And then on the left-hand side, it will be Perisic, who we will all know,
Yeah,
former um, Tottenham player. So he's on that
it's
left-hand side.
scoring three, and
And
then what? Gusto on it.
yeah, and Saibari, he's a talented player. He's one to look out for me. I remember him scoring against us last season. Came on,
Yeah,
made an impact.
yeah,
I feel like he's got something about him, so definitely one to look out for. 13 goals already so far this season, and up top, you've got Gus Till, actually
false.
a midfielder, but he's
Yeah,
been
I
a
was going to
makeshift
say full
striker this
start. Yeah,
year.
he's a 10. So yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but he's been banging in the goals, so maybe he's found a new position for himself that will flourish him, into his career, but also for PSV as well. So
If they're
this is the
smart,
predicted lineup.
if
Mm,
they're smart, they'll switch it up because if that
mm,
is the team they play, then that will be a bit easier. Without
mm.
that may be a bit easier for us to defend against. I don't know if that'll
Yeah,
mean that we'll win because we're so pathetic at the moment, but you get me.
yeah,
So it depends on
yeah,
whether they're just naming the team that's getting it done for them at the moment, or whether they're naming the team for Liverpool in
yeah.
regards to trying to target our weaknesses currently.
Mm, yeah, I agree. It'll be interesting. Um, yeah, because Saibari is one of those players where he's very unpredictable. So I
Yeah,
feel like he could trouble our defense. Gus Till,
yeah,
I think he because he's in that good form as well. He will be inside that box.
yeah,
Not a natural striker, but due to tactics, I think he'll play a bit more further up.
yeah,
Um, and Perisic, has got a great crossing ability. He'll definitely provide
yeah.
that creativity from the flanks. So this is not going to be a walk in the park. It really isn't. Um,
Far from it.
far from it. So yeah, let's move on and let's talk Liverpool. So Double D, who would you start in goal? Would you
Oh no,
start with Mohamed Achilli or
Ale-
Allison? Okay.
Allison in goal all day. I don't really blame him heavily for the
Yeah.
goals conceded on the
No,
weekend. So yeah, Allison in goal.
I
Um,
agree.
but this right back thing now with no Ramsey, I have to go with I have to go. I don't want Jones or Summerside there. I want them both from midfield. So I know it's not going to happen, but I'll go with go. put Gomez forward. I don't know who you'd put forward, but I'd put Gomez forward. But I know it won't happen. He won't do it. Endo's more likely to play right back than Gomez.
Yeah, but Endo worries me at right back, to be fair. Honestly, I would play Gomez there. I don't want to see I definitely don't want to see Szoboszlai there. I
Yeah,
don't I wouldn't be mad if Jones is there, but I feel like due to McAllister's lack of form,
yeah.
I kind of need Jones in midfield. So I'm gonna go with Gomez. It's very unlikely, like you said, Double D, but it might be a thing where, give him that paracetamol, whatever we gotta give him, let him play an hour and then take him off and then bring Jones or make some changes from there onwards. Um, but he needs to be involved. If he's on a bench week in, week out, he should be fit enough to play minutes, in my opinion.
This
So
is
I'm
what I'm
not
saying.
buying that.
And every time the camera pans cuts to him, Ozzy,
Gomez.
he's looking like he's thinking, Slot, are you taking the absolute piss? Like he looks up at the player coming on and he's thinking, what the hell is this, man?
You know
Like,
what's
what the
crazy?
hell?
He might not be as injured as Slot is making out.
No,
As
but
Slot is
that's what I'm
making
saying.
excuses.
With him and
Mm,
with the likes of Gomez and Chiesa, the way Slot talks about them, it's like he's
yeah,
trying to sell to us that there's an issue, and sometimes there isn't an issue.
yeah,
With Gomez, if he's having injections, whether they be cortisone injections or whatever for the pain, okay, cool. But the way that he talks about Chiesa, oh, maybe if he does this and that, but everything you're saying maybe about, he's been doing
yeah,
it, and you're still not putting him in. I don't
yeah.
understand why he's so apprehensive, as I said, when talking about him. So he might be a bit of hyperbole in regards to that because he's trying to condone what he's doing. And realistically, if we're winning, cool, but we're not winning. So why are you like? I don't get it, man. I don't get it.
No, I don't get it either. Centre back. To be fair, do we have any choice? Penalty.
Yeah. No, no, no. Don't worry. Slot will put Gravenberch there. Yeah.
Oh my God,
And take away another key midfield piece. You know, he's full of surprises this season. Yeah, you know what I mean?
he is. I don't want to see Graham back at centre back again. I'm like he can do a job for like 5-10 minutes, but that shouldn't be an option, man. It's so frustrating in terms of the tactics that he's done this season.
You
Honestly,
see how important he is to the midfield. So you think it's okay. I'll put that person in defence.
yeah.
Just dumb, bro.
Like he devalues their impact in a team like Szoboszlai and Gravenberg. Like, just make them mix. Like, not everyone's James Milner. Like you can't just make them play in random positions all the time. Let them play to their strengths. So this coach is a bit all over the place. Who would you start left back in this one?
Robbo.
Yeah, me too.
Robbo.
Outside Robbo.
Robbo. He played all 3 hours for Scotland in the international break, so I get
Yeah,
it. But I
yeah,
until I see an improvement from Kirkes, Robbo, as long as his body can work with him, has to start all the games. And then if you want to do the thing where you go to three at the back, which I'm not always a fan of,
mm.
Robbo does it much better than Kirkes does. We'll
Oh
build it up,
yes.
and then when he does get the opportunity to go on the outside, goes on the outside, and he's going to put balls in. Because don't get twisted, Gakpo should have passed to Kirkes more, but I can only recall one good cross that Kirkes has put in when he actually has had the ball in a decent position up the field either. Otherwise, he's just doing nonsense attacking wise as well. Who did we play the other day when he jumped on the floor and tried to get a penalty when he wasn't even touched? A few weeks ago, we played. Do you remember?
I
We played
remember. I can't remember the game.
you had the opportunity to cut pass and then pull the ball back, and you're dropping on the and then
Yeah,
you're dropping on the floor,
yeah.
bro. Like, come on, man.
Nah, you can't, mate. Honestly, I agree. Even the whole back three thing that you just mentioned, like
Yeah,
I feel like because I was under the assumption that we might test out a back three just because
yeah,
luck is not on our side. We need to switch it around, try and come up with a new solution. I wouldn't have minded Robertson on that left hand side just because I feel like it suits him at this stage of his career to play in
yeah.
that role.
Because extra protection with the centre
Yes.
half, which means you're not
Yeah.
having. You still got to go up and down, but
Yeah.
you've not in certain areas you can slow it down a bit to get back rather than going
Yeah.
full pace,
And
full
he's
throttle
more
up and down.
comfortable defending on the channels in
Yeah,
comparison to for a centre back to do, if that makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah,
So
yeah.
he doesn't need to bomb past the halfway line, but he can still do it in short spaces. And I feel like that would work to his strength. So that could have been a solution, but that's why I'm not coming up with a random formation because I don't think Slot's going to go with that. So that's why we're sticking to a 4-2-3-1. Who who would you start in the double pivot?
Graven Birch definitely.
Yes.
Um, I'd want. I don't think he's going to do it. I think McAllister should be on the bench again. So I'm going to go. I would play a midfield three of Grav. If it was to be Gomez,
Mm.
I'd play Gravenberch, Soberstein, Jones. So it's up to you who you would have in the 8 and the 10 out of Soberstein and Jones. You get me? But
I
that's the
would have
three
gone
that
for
I'd play.
Jones alongside Bamberg and then Szoboszlai. That's the midfield I have written down. That's what I would have gone. So we're kind of on the same wavelength there. And also, if it doesn't work, you can rotate Jones and Szoboszlai in that role as well.
There you go.
But
Yeah.
I agree. I don't think McAllister should start in this game. Rest him because God knows what he's carrying right now. Um, it's not been publicized that he's carrying injury, but for me, it's evident that he has got some sort of issues right now.
Oh, defo,
And
because he's nowhere near who we saw
no,
last season.
no,
Nowhere near.
nowhere near. It's very true. So no, I don't see that coming. Who's starting on the right? Are you sticking with Salah or are you going with a bit of rotation?
Preferably, I'd want Salah for West Ham. So I would. Um, it's not going to happen, but I'd play Chiesa, but it
Yeah,
won't happen. It won't happen, but yeah, I'd play Chiesa there. I just think he's guile and whatnot. He'll feature in just if he were to score, he'll feature in not just one but two goals. I was just thinking that his brain is just
yeah,
he's such a smart, intelligent footballer that because of his injuries, he's not as rapid as he was when he was
yeah,
younger. So he's realised on the football pitch in certain scenarios, I need to do as much with the ball sometimes. So I do a lot with less touches of the ball and then repost myself and move and whatnot. He's just always causing like that League Cup game we played against Southampton because Southampton caused us far more problems than they should have. It was all
yeah.
about Chiesa. Even though he didn't score, it's all about Chiesa. The way he found Isak for his goal. Obviously,
Spot
this
on.
is much better level of opponent than Southampton.
Yeah,
But the way he found Isak on that goal, the way he made the goal for Ekatike, he's always making things happen. And he's not afraid to shoot either. If he sees an opportunity, he's going to shoot. He's not going to do this pass across or try and nick it into the box. That's one thing we do too much as well. Overpassing at certain times.
yeah.
We didn't do it
Trying to
against
score the
Madrid
perfect
though.
goal.
Yeah.
Mm,
And you can see all the
mm,
defenders are there. So other than fact, I'll open up to shoot and then try something, trying to knock a
yeah,
ball on and then overhitting the pass and whatnot. You get what I'm saying?
yeah.
Chiesa will shoot. He'll shoot. You get what I mean?
I hear you in terms of the team selection. I would actually start Chiesa. I don't think it will happen. But the reason I will start Chiesa is because I feel like Salah needs a rest, just like McAllister. They're just not firing right now, and I
Yeah,
feel like when someone is going through a dip of form, sometimes you let them play consecutive games, and you're thinking things will change, but it
yeah,
hasn't for neither of those players. So I feel like use PSV as a game to rotate the squad a little bit,
yeah,
freshen it up a little bit, let the squad players or the players that are normally on the bench, let them get some minutes under the belt. Um, And look, I'm not saying Salah's not in the squad. He'll be on the bench, so we can bring him on for the last 20 minutes. And let's say Salah comes on and scores a couple goals, that will give him the confidence going into the next fixture,
yeah,
rather than him starting and getting worked and worked. And it's like his morale continues to drop, if that makes sense. So
yeah,
this is our predicted lineup. So I'm gonna go with Chiesa because that's what I want to see.
yeah.
Whether it happens or not is another
Completely different
discussion.
story. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a different story, but this is what I think, we should do. So this is what we would like to predict and like to see in reality. Who would you start on the left?
Pardon. Um, I'm gonna. It won't happen, but I'm gonna have to say Rio agreeing with someone that was said earlier. It's for the sheer fact again. Um,
Yeah.
I want Gakpo for the West Ham game. I've got
Yeah.
that problem with Cody starting, but Rio because as you've said,
Hmm.
Callum will copy as well.
Yeah.
Why are you always bringing on a teenager to save the day? He's already
Yeah.
done it against Newcastle, so effectively he's done that bit for the season or this
Yeah.
first part of the season anyway. Because he's a kid that's learning. He can't always learn if he's being brought on to kill the
Yeah.
team. Sometimes bring him on so he can be relaxed when we're winning the game. So at the moment we're not beating anybody, but when we're winning the game, bring him on at 2-0 and then let him come on and do his thing, do his tricks and
Yeah.
whatnot, and improve his decision making.
Yeah.
So then
I
we
agree.
get the footballer that he can be because Thing's only a year older than him, Diomande at Leipzig. And look at he's only 18 and look at
Yeah.
his
He's
decision
old.
making. He's not 19.
He's
Look at his
old.
decision making at the end. Rio can't get to that level. If you keep on bringing him on in when
Yeah.
we're desperate,
Yeah.
get me? Like he was the bar scored against Newcastle. He was actually very good against Burnley because him and Frimpong came on and we were constantly on the edge of Burnley spots because of it. But you can't expect
Yeah.
him every single game to produce that type of performance. So there's pressure here. Give him
Mm.
55 minutes in the Champions League. Because remember, he was brought in and Chiesa was sacrificed. It's only because of an injury that Chiesa's even in this squad. So
Yeah.
therefore, the confidence is there in him. So give him a start here. So then he's not playing if it's at the back end of the group and more trying to win to get into the top eight. And let's see
Yeah.
what the boy does. And if it doesn't work, then you bring Cody on after 55 minutes or an hour.
No, you make some very valid points. I'm just trying to think what was Slot doing in this scenario. Um,
He'll
I don't
probably
know.
he'll probably play Ekatike there and play Isak up top.
Hmm. But do we want to see that though?
We don't want to see it. Ekatike was brilliant for France last week off the left.
Yeah, he was. He was, to be fair. I think he's gonna stick. I think he's gonna go with Gakpo personally. Um, but what I will say is, if we are winning in this game, which even that sounds a bit far fetched to say out loud, but if we are winning this game, give Rio some minutes. And when I say some minutes, don't give him 5 minutes. Give him like 20, 25.
Yeah,
Bring him on after the hour mark and let him play at Anfield. Let him play with less pressure because, like you said, unfortunately for him, because he scored that winner in Slot's head in a simplistic sort of way, he's thinking, oh, he can come on and be a game changer. He's not that player yet. You know,
no,
he scored the winner against Newcastle. Amazing moment. Of course it was. But that's not his game. That shouldn't be his role within the squad.
exactly.
You can't ask a 17-year-old to do that week in, week out. That's very unfair of him to be expected to do that all the time. And also with young players like that, if they come on and they don't make that impact, that really hampers their confidence going
Oh,
forward.
of course, all day, all day.
And this manager doesn't come across as a great man manager to me either. So he's not going to give him a hug or anything like that. I feel like he's going to do the opposite, if that makes sense. Um, so I would, for me, it would be either Gakpo or Ekitike.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't.
It's probably
I
going to
have
be
a feeling it'll
it's
be.
probably going to be Ekatike, you know. It's probably going to be Ekatike and then Salah and then Salah, you'll say, and then Isak up top, and then he'll
Mm.
when he starts making the subs, it will go all over the.
Or would you think he won't pick Gakpo because this is his former club, and even though it's at Liverpool, he might know how to play against certain players in that team. Would that be an
Yeah,
advantage,
maybe one
or
or two. There's quite a few changes to when Gakpo was there,
since was he was there, isn't it? Yeah, that's true.
because he came to us 2023 January, innit? So a
Yeah,
lot of different Shoughton, for instance,
Charlton's still there. Yeah.
he was in Bologna. He was in Bologna. He was at Bologna then when
Mm.
Gakpo came to us. So um, maybe, maybe,
Should we go with Ekitike? Because I feel like
yeah. Go Ekatike. Then it will be Isak up top, and then Isak will come off
this
first
is the
because of
game.
the
Yeah, I
fitness.
think this is the game where I, like don't view these games as long terms in terms of the lineups. You have to take it game by game.
Yeah,
In this game, I feel like Ekitike needs to start because he deserves it based on his form. This might not be his favorite position, but you know, maybe this is the one where we try and fit him in. And I think with Isak, he still needs to get game time as well.
Yeah,
Um, I don't think this will this will be the case because I'm thinking now Klopp doesn't. I mean, Klopp Slot doesn't have a striker on the bench now.
exactly.
So this is very attack minded. This is when you can tell that me and Double D are, we were born in the night. We were watching footballs in the 90s because it's all attack, attack, attack right now.
Yeah,
But but why not? You have to try and create your own luck. And if we go all guns blazing, and I don't think PSV are the most dangerous of teams either. You know, this could be the game where it sparks confidence amongst these players.
yeah,
So just see this as a one-off and see how it goes. And then obviously, if you need to make changes during the game, if Isak is still below par, just put Ekatike up top and then bring Gakpo on. So you still got Gakpo, you still got Rio that can come on. He loves to rotate Szoboszlai all over the pitch, so Szoboszlai can play one of those wide roles if required. So why not? I feel like
yeah,
we've got to try something different. And if he's not trying something different and it's the same lineup that played against Forest, I'm even more concerned going forward. So this is probably not the best formation in the long term, but for now, it should be what goes forward because you're giving Ekatike game time, you're giving Isak game time. They both need game time. So I don't know. This is what I would do. This is what I had written down, ironically, and this is what Double D also agrees with. So yeah, drop a comment. Let me know, guys, what you think of our lineup. Whether it happens or not, remains to be seen. Uh, just gonna go through a few comments here. Deleuze D says, "How do we always get players constantly injured? Oz, Sturridge, Naby, Thiago, Shaqiri, Ramsey. So Sturridge, unfortunately, had injuries issues, throughout his career. Naby, bloody hell, I don't know what happened with Naby. He was barely injured for Leipzig and he came over and then couldn't stay fit. So Thiago had injury issues, Shaqiri as well, and Ramsey. I think he's just at that age where maybe you pick up more injuries as you're a youngster. But I think a lot of those players were from Klopp's time, and then with Klopp, the training sessions were quite intense. So the way they would play at games is actually how they would train as well. So that definitely took a toll on the players' bodies, and some could handle it and some couldn't. So um, and Bill got a bit do bad luck as well, I would say. So yeah, it's just a bit unfortunate because Naby didn't have any injury issues before he joined Liverpool, and then couldn't get on the bench
yep.
most of the time. So yeah, a bit of a crazy one there. Wayne says to Double D, just copy and paste my team. Was that your team, Wayne? Or if that's the case, great minds think alike. Because it,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
it was
Because Wayne said Rio. Wayne said
yeah.
that's why when I said Rio's name, I said like the person earlier, but I
Ah,
forgot it was Wayne. I was like,
okay,
yeah, I
okay.
mean, so, yeah.
But you guys are both born into the Rio. I think you know if this manager was a bit proactive, I think Rio would start. But I just have a feeling he won't. And I think if he was to go a bit left field in terms of team selection, I see it more being Ekatike on the left and then Isak on the right, on the central, because you want to try and get those players playing again or getting some fitness and sharpness in front of goal. So let's see. Let's see how it goes. Abdul Rahim, big up yourself. Says, big up Aussie. Dubai Luxury D. It's giving you a nickname there. And chat. Smash the likes and subscribe. How are you? Smash the likes and subscribe. Uh, Liverpool versus PSV. This is an important game for Mr. Arne. Lost the plot slot. Interesting nickname there. Thank you, no more. Big up yourself, Abdul. Hope you're doing well. Arne lost the plot slot. Needs to stop favoritism and play other players. His favorite players not performing. He's under pressure and needs to win games. I want him gone. John's got to play every week for me, according to Bowl.
Yeah,
And the way Slot has handled the youth players since he came in has been horrendous. I totally agree with you there. I
yeah,
think he has been
yeah,
horrendous. Clump says, I like your lineup, but I feel Slot will go with Salah and Gakpo. Also, I think Jones will be at right back with Maka in midfield. Clumps, you're not wrong.
Yeah, he will be.
I think you're right, Clumps, in terms of your
His
selection. I think this
reluctance,
is
his reluctance to use Gomez, I think that's going to be exactly what it is. Jones right back,
yeah.
Mac will start. You get what I'm saying?
I'll say one step further. I think Sabozlai goes at right back. Just because of what he's done so far this season, you can't put it past it. So yeah, and that doesn't work well with me. But Clumps is right. Like in terms of his suggestions there, I I feel like that is what will happen. But he's not learned anything. Then you've got to freshen up the squad, try different personnel, and see if we can find a balance because it's not working. So I don't know. Let's see. Let's see how it goes. Wayne says you're probably right, Ozzy. The team was just what I would do. No, no, Wayne. I think in terms of your selection of Rio, because I think the rest of it, the team is pretty much identical. I think you're right. I would actually be in favor of starting Rio because you want to give the kid a bit of confidence.
Yeah,
Whenever he's made a cameo, it's been to save the day. He's not Superman. Like his role is to be a young player learning the game, and respect to PSV, but they are not the big giants of European football. So this is a game where it's at Anfield, it's at home. Let the young kid, play his game, express himself, get the crowd going. We'll be so supportive of the young player, and that might, galvanize this crowd, the atmosphere at Anfield as well. So yeah, I would do that. Um, but I don't know. Just because of what Slot does with youth players, I don't see it being a realistic option. So my other alternative would be just put a Ekitike there in order to get him some minutes, and then with Isak, you know, it's clearly obvious that he'll always prefer Isak over Ekitike despite what form they're in. So
yeah,
because of that, you have to play both players in some shape or form. So that's why we've gone with Ekitike and Isak. But in terms of your team selection, it's not far off, to be fair. Funny enough, I don't think neither of us will be right. It'll be what
yeah,
Clemson suggested
yeah.
above, and it'll be Salah, McAllister in the team, unfortunately, and Sabozlai right back as well. Seriously, I just want to end this show with two words. We all should know by now. SO. I think
Slot
we all
out,
know what that.
slot out, babe. Hold tight, Steve.
Big up to Steve. Is there any reason you guys think why slot next keys are like? Honestly, is there any? Um,
I think that it wasn't a signing that he went to Richard Hughes with. I think they looked at it as a market opportunity, and
yeah,
it's self sabotage. You get what I'm saying? It's flipping. He's trying to make a point because there's players that haven't shown as much as him that he likes them all. Like Chiesa is like the work, and the thing is as well. All the players in the squad get along with him. He looks like he's
yeah,
brilliant for the dressing room and whatnot. So it's like Slot's making a problem that isn't there.
I know.
I
I
don't, yeah,
don't know what
I don't think it was
is
his
on.
signing. I think it was
Yeah,
Richard Hughes. Richard Hughes said market opportunity to get a player of this caliber for £10 million, and
yeah,
he just doesn't want to use him because in Europe he'll use him cups etc. But why he won't use him from the start in the league game just
yeah.
really
And he
baffles me.
uses him very sparingly as well. It's not like he's giving a fair crack or he's giving a good amount of minutes. The only time he gave him a good amount of minutes was against Southampton. But of course, that was a Carabao Cup tie against a
Yeah,
championship team. So I don't know what the problem is. I think you're right, Double D. I do think it wasn't his signing, but then again, this signing didn't happen last summer. It happened, in 2024, last summer.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So it happened last year. So that shows me if that is the case, then his ego is bigger than what we would imagine then. Because just because he wasn't your tailored signing doesn't mean you don't utilize him. He's shown this season that whenever called upon, he can be relied upon. He always presses very aggressively. He definitely works
yes,
for the team. He works hard. Last season, yes, you'd excuse that he didn't have a good preseason because he barely had a preseason for Juventus
yeah,
last summer, and he wasn't quite fit. So yeah, the first season, you can make excuse that he wasn't fully fit. But this year,
The only bad game I can think of him having, like outrageously bad game, I heard, I can remember him having last season was against Plymouth in the cup, in the
yeah,
FA Cup. That's it. Apart from
but
that,
they were all
look,
terrible.
look at when he came on
Yeah,
in the Carabao Cup final.
yeah.
Him,
Well, that goal was
Bar
class.
Harvey Elliott getting manhandled by Joe Linton. Him and Harvey just changed up. They just changed up the game, bro.
And
And
you know what the crazy
Harvey's
thing about that
passing, yeah,
situation?
he's just
They
finished.
they were both left out cold after that Plymouth game. They barely made an appearance because
And
of that poor performance. But
when there were other people that were dreadful in
yeah, and
that
it wasn't
game.
just them two.
What the hell was Nunes doing? Don't actually, in terms of Nunes, Slot did actually openly in press conferences attack
Yeah,
Nunes. But what was Nunes doing in that game? Like there were
yeah,
so many
exactly.
people that were bad, and he
Yeah,
just like used Elliot and Chiesa as scapegoats.
yeah, he
I
did.
don't like.
But that doesn't that's not a quality coach in my opinion. When has Jurgen Klopp ever used someone as a scapegoat? He doesn't do that. That's not his way. He protects his players. So how you
He
gonna get
didn't
the best
even
out of a
use
player?
Salah. He didn't even use Salah as a scapegoat after
No.
they had their bust up against West Ham. He didn't even do
Yeah.
that, and that would have been the
No.
perfect opportunity to do that.
And that's the right way to go. You don't put your players under the bus. Remember, you will need these players at some point in the season.
Yeah,
So you gotta have them on your side. Whether they play every game or not, you gotta make them believe that they're part of the group, that they're essential tool within the group.
yeah,
And he never that's poor management in my opinion. To belittle your players.
yeah.
You know when Chiesa won that Player of the Month award not so long ago? He was like, I couldn't believe our fifth striker got the award. Are you all right? What do you mean you can't and labeled him as the fifth striker as well? Honestly, I don't know what his issue is, but it's mad.
And the only thing is that because of what he did to Kwanzaa, yeah, against Ipswich, when he dragged him at half time because he
Yeah, yeah.
wasn't winning these duels, I thought these type of scenarios would have been perfect for him to an extent
Mm,
because it will be like, okay, you're not doing this, you're not doing that, you're not going to play, but
yeah,
he's still playing the people that are making the errors.
yeah,
So we blame the individuals, the Kanates and that, but he's picking them.
yeah,
He's picking them. He's picking the team. So
yeah,
it's his fault just as much as
yeah,
it's their fault.
yeah.
Because when you're out of form, you take him out, you utilize your squad, which is
Mm,
something my boy Big Sam, that one
yeah,
of my co-presenters on the Footy Factory, says as well. You utilize the squad properly. Man threw
mm,
away the League Cup game for what? Because we're still shit. If we improved, yeah. Obviously
yeah,
we beat major. Obviously we beat Villa on the
yeah.
Saturday after we beat Thing, but then after that we've been shit again. So we went out of the League Cup for no reason. So,
But
you get me?
he should have used the League Cup as a way to boost the
To
confidence of his
boost
team.
confidence, because then if you're still in
That's
that,
how it's always been. Like you know when teams are going through the rut in terms of Premier League form, they always say the cup form could be the game changer. It can give you that confidence going into the league once
bro.
again. That's logical stuff.
It's going way back. But do you
Yeah.
remember when Torres first came to us? Yeah,
Mm,
he scored against Chelsea, etc. There was one or two
yeah.
other goals. Then he stopped scoring for a couple of the games. We played. I can't remember the exact round, but we played Reading in the cup,
Mm,
and Torres scored. It was either a brace or a hay, right?
yeah.
Or was it one goal? Or was it? But I just remember him doing a madness in that game,
Score the goal. Yeah.
and Ben Ayoun scored in that game as well. Then after
Yeah.
that, he never looked back in the league.
Yeah.
For an individual, you get what I'm saying? Cody, the Carabao Cup has basically been Cody Gakpo's competition. So
Yeah.
why he wouldn't have used him
Mm,
against? And the thing is as well is that I thought one or two have the night off, return for training in the morning, be with their families and whatnot. All the players, Isak included, were on the bench for that Palace game. So what the hell was the point of it? You could have named two or three of them, man, that were actually fit. Unlike
yeah.
Isak, obviously he was injured. The ones that were fit, two or three of them on the bench to aid
Yeah.
it. Because we spent a lot of the game in Southampton's half. But Morrison, I think his name was whoever, a couple of them, man, were just out of their depth.
Yeah.
They didn't know what to do in the final third.
Yeah. They were. They were. It's true. He's just mismanaged everything so far this season. That's the way I can see it. And it's like it's very frustrating because it's like we can see it, but why can't this coach see it?
Yeah.
Why can't his staff see it? Like it doesn't make sense, honestly. Let's see if he can turn it around from tomorrow, but don't have high hopes if I'm being honest. Wayne says, "Put it into your betty." That's all I care, as long as it's not someone
Yeah,
just some man.
put the tea lady there, man.
Put a T lady there, do what you gotta do. Honestly, it really doesn't matter. It really doesn't. Bo says SOS. That's what Slot is shouting out right now because he needs help. Clumps is saying if he was picking a team, Slot wouldn't pick. I agree with you. Go for it at the back. Three at the back is a viable option as well, but I don't see him testing that formation anytime soon. To be fair,
Yeah, yeah.
I just said Will Ekiti can play left wing with Arnold lost the plot slot. I don't know, but I think this is what me and Double D would like to see because it makes perfect sense to play him and get Isak together in the team. But whether he does, we'll have to wait and see. Bolster Stock doesn't like players and coaches who works hard. Yeah, clearly. Clearly that's the case. Wayne said, all I think is kids have made eyes at Slot's wife or daughter. Not
That's what I
quite
was saying.
personal, man.
That's what I said at the start. That's what I said at the start. Then he moved to the daughter or something like that. Like, man has got it in for man, bro. Man has
Trust
got
me.
it in for man. He
Well,
could
be
play.
something personal.
He could. We could actually be shocked, and he scores a hattie, and he
Yeah,
starts against PSV and scores a hattie, and he still won't be used against West Ham. That's how peak it is. I
yeah,
don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. Like, man loves
yeah,
the club. Man wants to play. He's enthusiastic. He's always talking so well. When his teammates score, I've never seen a
yeah.
player that's so
Oh,
happy
yeah.
for his teammates to score, and he's being treated as though he's a bad seed. I don't
Yeah.
understand it, bro.
It's very bizarre because that was the little whispers last season where maybe he's not a good trainer and that's not why slots.
Yeah,
I obviously I'm not there in training, but I don't see it in that way. I feel like he had a positive effect on the squad. You can
yeah,
see him talking to young players like Rio
yeah,
and trying to give them like those gems to really flourish as a player. And it just seems like a good all round character. His vlog when he first signed for the club, probably one of the best vlogs I've seen for a
yeah,
signing.
yeah,
That enthusiasm, even his girlfriend was like speaking so highly about the club.
yeah,
Like, like they were so proud to join Liverpool. Like it was really refreshing to see. Because
yeah,
normally it's just typical medical, this and that. You're not seeing any energy from the signing because they're tired or whatnot. But he was just speaking, in glorious reference of the club and spoke about his dad talking about Liverpool, because obviously his dad was a former player
yeah.
in the Italian league and stuff. So, he's
Well,
played at
and
Anfield
his dad
and
was a
stuff like
bad
that.
boy. And Enrico
Yeah, he was a good
Chiesa
player.
was a bad boy, bro. Again, talking about the old school players, because we spoke about
Yeah,
Serie A earlier, he was a bad
yeah,
boy, bro.
yeah. So like things like that, you can't just disregard. Like he's fully there. He wants to fight for the cause. He wants to fight for the badge. He wants to fight for the people. So why are you not utilizing him? It's so silly. Like even Harvey Elliott, just to be a bit off topic,
Yeah.
he is a fan like us. Like he fights for that, but it means a
But
lot more for him.
he loves the club. Even on that Klopp
Yeah,
documentary that's on Amazon,
yeah,
there's a whole episode that concentrates on Harvey and his
there
family,
is a whole
mainly
episode. Yeah,
his dad and what his dad means to football. But you know what makes me laugh? Everyone was saying that Harvey will have to leave the club because Slot won't want to use him because he doesn't think he's combative enough or can be physical. But then he goes and buys Verts. I don't get it twisted. Obviously, Verts is better than Harvey Elliott, but that goes against why you weren't using Harvey. Because
yeah,
though Verts' work rate is off the charts, he
yeah,
can be hand off the ball. You get what I'm saying? The
yeah.
jewels and whatnot. So then, therefore, why wouldn't you have kept Harvey too
Mm,
and then only
true.
use one of them at a time? Because obviously, you think we'd be at a disadvantage if you had
Yeah,
both of them on the pitch. It doesn't make any form of sense to me, but you know what I'm saying?
no, it doesn't.
Because at the end of the day, if that is the case, obviously now I love the fact that we bought Verts, but then if it was a case you wanted a combative 10 to stay in there, you could have spent a third of that money. You get what I'm saying? You could have got
Yeah,
you could have got Damsgaard from Brentford.
mm, yeah.
Now, don't get twisted. He's not like in terms of
Elite, or
their
anything, yeah,
ceiling. He's not Verts, but some of the assists he got last season, especially to
yeah,
Vissa, were insane. And he's always working hard and involved in duels
yeah,
and whatnot as well. You get what I'm saying? And he
yeah,
can play off of the left or right,
Left as
because
well.
that's what he
Yeah.
was used for Sampdoria, and he played sometimes there for Denmark. They
Denmark
played
as well, yeah.
they played England in the last Euros in 2021, and
He was cold.
he ran the game.
He
He ran the
cold,
game until
yeah.
it went into extra time, and scored a
He was
free kick
cold.
in it as well to top his
Yeah, I
good
remember.
performance. You can
Yeah.
understand?
He's a very
Do
talented
you know what I'm
player.
saying? Now, I'm not saying that he's better than Verts before people get the wrong idea. I'm just saying is that if he wanted someone competitive, etc., that can play multiple
He could have
positions and
fit the
that,
bill.
because what is
Mm,
going on with us at the moment is insane. It is insane how bad like we look.
mm.
It kills me. It's one thing to lose a football match because you could lose when you play well, but
Yeah, of
we
course.
we just I mean, any team can smother us that have players
Yeah.
nowhere near as good as us. Spend this amount of money and we've got worse.
Yeah.
It makes
It's
no
just
sense. It doesn't
doesn't
make
make
any
sense.
sense.
Doesn't make sense at all. No, I agree. But also, was Chiesa even invited to Ibiza last season? I don't think he was, mate. Honestly, I didn't see any visuals, so I don't think he was. Probably told the bouncer not to let him in on purpose as well. Abdul says, will Gomez play right back? No. But this is what me and Double D would like to see. Will Chiesa play right wing? No. But this is what me and Double D would like to see. Um, and we're not even just doing it to be different. We feel like these players that we present on the screen deserve minutes.
Yeah,
So refresh the squad a little bit,
yeah,
switch it up.
yeah.
Salah, McAllister, these players will be on the bench. But I think to start, let the likes of Chiesa, TK, and Gomez get some game time as well, because it only fits well for the squad, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Bolster Slot didn't use the not preseason excuse with Isak though. Yeah, that's true as well. Players need to start performing. Yes, they do.
100%, 100%.
100%.
Players need to start performing because it's Slot's fault for
Yeah,
picking those players, but players need to be
they
performing
have to. Yeah,
as well. So it's both of their fault. It's everybody's fault.
definitely,
No one's safe.
definitely. No one is safe. It literally everyone is held accountable. Everyone has got to put in the work now. So it's not just Slot. The players got to show their qualities as well. Um, Bosses Slot do not have the balls against the big boys like Ibu, Salah, Virgil, but Kwanzaa, Elliot, Chiesa, Rio, he plays the big boy. One absolute joke slot is the big bully in the playground. Picks people that aren't his size and this deals with them in that way. But yeah, he's probably not equipped to manage big egos within the squad. That's what this season has shown me personally. Um, but let's see how it goes going forward. Bosses, why don't managers pay reserve or youngsters over stars who don't give a shit? I have never understood that. Do you guys have the answer to that? In terms of youngsters and reserves, obviously, I don't think they're quite ready to make that step up over the stars. But I will say this: that when you've got players in the squad that are willing to work hard and fight for the badge, they have to be part of the squad. You can't have a squad full of stars. It doesn't really work. You can have an 11 full of stars to an extent, but you need players that will work hard for a team, but also wouldn't mind being squad players. And that's not a mentality that, that's an acceptance. It's just that they are privileged to be in a situation where they're playing for their boyhood club. So therefore they give it a bit more. There's a bit more passion in their performances. So that's why, we've got homegrown quotas right now, but in the past you would normally keep those kind of players around the squad to, embody what the club means. That's why you had the likes of your Carragher's, who might not have been technically the best defender in the world, but what he embodied for Liverpool was different to what you get from signing another player from Spain or whatnot. So you have to have these players because it's still the identity of the club, and they know what it means to represent Liverpool as well. So you've got to have a mix, in my opinion. Uh, Abdul says losses against Palace. Three times Chelsea, Galatasaray, United, Brentford, Man City, and Nottingham Forest is unacceptable. He has definitely lost the plot. I can't deal with this man. He needs to go. I'm on the same boat as you, Abdul. I really am. I've lost. I've lost the plot with him as well. So yeah,
Man.
I am.
bro, we can't even beat Crystal Palace with our first team. So man went into a cup
Trust
game
me.
and took everybody out.
Trust me.
But
It's
man,
so true.
man went full Brendan Rodgers against Real Madrid, bro. He was like, you get me? He was like, oh yeah, we'll just lose. You get me? We got to the
Just
final of this cup last year, but it doesn't matter this year. Don't winning
uh,
breeds winning, right? Yeah,
threw in the white towel. Honestly, nah,
crazy.
not acceptable. Not acceptable. Bo says Chiesa been treated like he just murdered 20 people. Yeah, it feels like it, doesn't it? Something's wrong. I don't know what it is, but yeah, something's not right between the two. Abdul says 8 losses, 11 played, unacceptable. By Slot, other clubs around Europe would have sacked him. Yep, I agree with you. Will good come to us with our form with Arne Slot? I don't see it, unfortunately, which is why I'm asking for a change. Will good players come to us the way we are playing this season in January? I think players will still come. Um, it might be difficult to attract some, but I think players would have been earmarked for the January window, um, like your Semenyos and your Mark Gays. But me personally, the Mark Gay one, I don't have huge confidence. Maybe because of our lack of form, and maybe Gay looking out for himself, and rightly so, by the way, about his position. You know, he didn't get his move due to Crystal Palace's stance, so he'll probably think, let me play the rest of the season and then explore my options and make my own decision. I think that's what his point of view would be. Um, but yeah, hopefully we can make some additions in January. Thriller, because so he says, does it make you lot sick that Arsenal are gonna win the league?
Yep, I'm leaving the country, thriller. I'm leaving the country, bro. I can't. I've got too many friends and family that support Arsenal and annoying like
Yeah,
associates and people that just linger that will pop up and get my phone number from other people because of the fact that Arsenal are doing their thing. They make me sick. How I've grew up despising Manchester United because of the amount that they won when I was in primary school and secondary school, and
yeah,
now I hate despise Arsenal fans more than Man United fans is
yeah,
absolutely ridiculous, bruv. These men were giving themselves honorary trophies for the football that they play when I first went on Twitter. Yeah.
yeah.
Up until
We're finishing second.
then they finally got that FA Cup. And now talking about being the best at this and that, and their manager doesn't help, even though they were repeatedly coming second and haven't won since they won the FA Cup in 2020. So if they win the league, which unfortunately is what it looks like at the moment,
Yeah, it does.
you get what I'm saying? Because they're going to drop points, but Liverpool and City, well, we shouldn't even be part of the conversation right about
No.
now because we're that bad. Do not have the quality to take a maximum points every time Arsenal do drop points. So with the lead they've got already, it's done. Chelsea right now are the best hope. They need to beat Arsenal next week, otherwise, how are they going to catch them? You get what I'm saying? So
Facts. Facts.
we'll see what happens. Man.
Abdul says, for us, it doesn't make sense what he's doing with the club and the amount of consecutive. What is going on with us? Please explain what is Slot doing. I can't explain anything what Slot is doing. He's the only one that can tell us what he's doing because
Yeah,
I think he's lost the plot. As you mentioned in every comment, he has lost the plot. So I can't defend someone like that, which is why I'm Slot out now.
yeah,
Um, Abdul said, Kiers locked up by Slot. I don't know. He lets him out the basement sometimes, but he still doesn't get any game time, unfortunately. Clump says, did Arne Slot change formation against Frankfurt? I forgot if it was a 4-3-3 or 4-4-2, or we came out dominating 5-1 win. It was a 4-4-2 formation,
yeah,
and Wirtz was playing on the right hand side from what I remember. So yeah,
yeah, yeah.
it was a different formation. But even afterwards, he was like, "Oh, it's not the way I want us to play, but we got the win." Like he wasn't even appreciative of what happened, if that makes sense. So it's like, what's your problem, man?
Oh,
Honestly.
some of our counter attacking in that game was top draw, and we went behind them one as well because right about
Yeah,
now
yeah,
we can't go behind and win. You get what I'm saying?
yeah.
We can't go behind and win. Like so, yeah. I mean, we showed some backbone there at least.
I agree. I just said everyone is in the fine line. Even listen, everyone, no one
The
apart
whole
from probably
squad,
Szoboszlai
the
is
whole squad. Yeah,
in.
so Bonsai is the one
Yeah,
exception, and Allison because Allison's not done too
yeah,
much
yeah,
wrong either. Right?
yeah,
Otherwise, everybody, because Virgil has had some very good games, but even in the games he's been good in, sometimes he doesn't wholeheartedly try and block a shot. And this
yeah,
has been going on literally the duration of his time at the club. Um,
yeah,
when we lost the Champions League final to Real Madrid in 2022, people are blaming Trent, but Valverde, for anyone that heard his interview, was actually shooting. So obviously, if you see a man open up the body to shoot, you're going to cover the goal. But the shot was
yeah,
so bad, it went straight to Vinicius. He scored. But even before, when he was opened up to shoot, look at Van Dijk's attempt to block it. Look at his attempt to
Mm.
block it, sticking out his batty like he's at carnival, bro. You get what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. And he does that too much. He does,
Yeah.
he does that too much. And then when you've got Canate being the idiot as well, we just
Mm.
look like what do we look like?
He's Bambi on ice, man. Honestly,
And
like
it
he's got
started
no balance whatsoever.
And it started with Kadar. So I didn't want to use the word idiot, apologise to Ibu, but being poor at the moment. Now, that was the first thing that
Yeah.
came to my head because he was getting away with it. The first game of the season
Mm.
against Bournemouth, when flipping thing runs through the team, Semenyo, he makes no attempt to engage him. No attempt. He just backs off, backs off, backs off, and then makes it easier for Semenyo. Or Ibu runs over to the side where the ball is when just hold your position so then they can't come inside or shoot because you're just standing there. You
Mm.
get what I'm saying? Like, come on, man.
No, I hear you. Bo says, "Do you guys see the talented youngster who gets a lot of praise in the academy? Hayden, Hooray, Home, and Joshua Abe. I haven't seen much of them in action, to be fair. So those are names I'm
I,
gonna
s-
keep an
I
eye out
saw
for.
I saw Joshua Abe. I've not seen him in the full game, but I saw a
Mm.
clip of him in a youth game score a
Is he a
banger.
winger?
Banger, yeah, he's literally
Yeah, I've
like
seen him as well.
literally. It
Yeah.
literally looks like another Real, like the way that he
Mm.
can beat people
Yeah,
and
I have seen him.
whatnot. So I'm sure Abe's the one that I saw the winger. But yeah, we've got good youth, but whether we use them all or not, I don't know. You get what I'm saying? Do it.
Yeah. That's what Bo is saying. He says, makes me so sad for them to have Slot as their future coach just to destroy them. Hopefully that's not the case.
Oi,
Hopefully
oi,
that's not the case.
Bowles killing me, bro. Oh,
He's not having it.
Defo Abdul. We need signings in January, but that's what me and Oz were discussing about
Yeah,
hour and a half ago. Is that the
yeah,
boards might see it that we've given you this much money. You tell us why we
yeah,
should give you more. You're such a good coach. Get your way out of it. Sounds like a you
yeah.
problem, as they say.
Trust me. Trust me. Really is a you problem, isn't it? Honestly. I just said emergency signs are needed in January. I did see signs. Yeah, I agree. I don't want to classify as emergency signs, but we need new signings for sure.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
Villa says, good idea. I might go on holiday as well. I think we
Yeah,
all
we,
need a
we
holiday,
have to
to be
we have to leave the
honestly.
hunt. We have to leave the country because these men are the loudest in the room, winning nothing. So when they actually
I
get
know.
something to talk about, you get me. What we
Yeah.
can't have, they can only win one trophy this season. We can't have them doing no doubles or anything like that. Because remember,
Nah.
they've never won a Champions League. If they win that as well, we are finished. We're finished with the league
Yeah.
already. But if they were to win the Champions League as well, we're done. We're done. You get me? But
I
when we
need Man City to step up
yeah,
now,
yeah.
honestly.
The
I
the
need them to
funny
step up.
well, if you see the way, obviously Pep changed the line now, but they got handled today by Leverkusen. They got handled. Yeah,
What was the score in the end?
2-0. 2-0 Leverkusen.
Sheesh.
Yeah,
Oh,
2-0
that's not good.
Leverkusen. But first goal Grimaldo, and the second goal was a header by Patrick Schick. Schick has been brilliant
Chick,
this
yeah, yeah,
season,
yeah.
I must say. But
Okay.
yeah, we need to we need them to step up. But they don't
Yeah.
look like they can at the moment. So our hope is Chelsea. And the problem with Chelsea is that I don't know how they're keeping so many clean sheets because they're not the best defensively, but they're getting through. And Sanchez is a good goalkeeper, but for when they want to get to, it's not good enough. But they're still getting through. So that's what I'm trying to say. You don't have to beat a thrilling best. People have to chip in. They've got Enzo chipping in, Jao Pedro chipping in, Neto chipping in. You get me? Who is chipping in for us at the moment?
Yeah.
We're not getting the spectacular play each week we did from Salah. So now what are we doing? What
Yeah.
are we doing? So Slot better figure it out. And the joke is, he did an interview recently. It might have been. I'm trying to think of what game it was. I think it was a European game, and he was
Mm.
talking, and he was saying that in Holland they have to do every few years they have to do like a refresher course for management. It would be like
Ah.
if you drive, it would be
Yeah.
like if you had to do like your theory or your practical every couple
Yeah.
of years. And he said, I don't understand why you have to do it. Well, bro, you won the league, yeah, and it's not even a few years since winning the league, and you need to do your damn refresher course, bro. I don't know what the
Trust
hell you're
me.
doing on this pitch, bruv. What the hell that you're
Honestly.
doing with these players on this pitch? You're not motivating no one, bruv.
Trust me. Needs to do a crash course soon, mate,
I'm
because
giving you
things are
three
not
more
working out
get.
right
I'm giving you three more games. I'm sitting on the fence right about now, but the fence has got anti-climbing paint. Yeah,
now.
you've got three more games, Arne. Yeah, three more games. Slot out, bruv.
You're too nice, man. I'm done with him. So, me, he needs to go now.
I'm giving
Trust
you
me.
PSV, West Ham, and Sunderland too.
Now, if he loses to his Dutch counterpart, yeah, boy, he needs to go tomorrow. Straight. I don't see it happening, but that'll be an embarrassment for him as well, I guess. But let's see. Let's see what happens. Well, says Arsenal fans are effing shite. That Lego man Arteta on the sideline can't see them. Little time. I don't want to see it. I'm praying that Man City step up and take another league title because for me
Come
it
on,
doesn't bother
Chelsea.
me that they win it or
Come on,
Chelsea.
Chelsea.
Although I've got cousins that support Chelsea, so yeah, that'd be a bit annoying on that part. But but I'd rather be Man City over Arsenal. Honestly,
All day.
Arsenal would be
I'd rather
unbearable.
Chelsea over Arsenal. I don't like Chelsea either.
I hate you. I hate you. Anyone but Arsenal, basically. Boss says, is Virgil actually the right leader? I think he is personally.
Yeah, he is. The problem is sometimes because without his organisation, you couldn't. The problem thing
mm,
is that with Liverpool, we used to have. I remember hearing it firsthand from many that went to games that go to games more than me because I don't go to that many matches.
yeah,
But I can remember them talking about leadership. Like I've got a friend that works at West Ham, so he would talk about it whenever Liverpool would come to play at West Ham or whatever.
yeah,
And it was the leaders we had back when we last won the league. So obviously, Allison's always vocal at the back, right? And Adrian quite vocal as well, though obviously he was
yeah,
nobody the goalkeeper. In defence, you've got Virgil there, you've got Robbo there. In midfield, you had Henderson there, Fabinho there, and then up top, Bobby would talk a lot, Salah would talk sometimes. Mane was always constantly at them. So leaders all over the pitch and instructions. Virgil,
yeah,
even when he's not playing at his best, he's still needed at the back because of his organisation. But in the midfield now, as good as Soberslide, Gravenberch and McAllister now, Sobersai seems to be the most vocal, and he can be a future captain. And he's obviously Hungary's captain, but the
yeah,
other voices in the midfield need to contribute more. And then up top, we need Fallon to be vocal, even in
yeah,
games where he's not playing well. Isak or Ekatike, that's not really their game. Though Isak can talk a bit. The leadership's gone, and that's where the backbone is gone. So out of the set of players here, Virgil and Robbo were the best captain and vice captain. I think Allison would be a good captain as well, but I'm not the number one fan of goalkeepers
as
being a
goalkeepers.
captain
Yeah, I
because
hear
they
you.
can see the whole pitch. But how can they get word to the strikers without telling the
Yeah,
defender to tell the
that the
midfielder or
influence.
whatever
Yeah,
as well? The influence, you get me? Though you can
yeah,
see the whole game, you can't always get your message across. You get what I'm saying? So Virgil is the
I hear
right
you.
leader for the football club, but even he needs to be better
Do a bit more.
consistently in his performances, you know?
No, I agree. I agree. I think he needs to do a bit more. To be fair, I've just said Virgil spent time bumping and grinding like he's at Carney. Yeah,
This is
got
but
to
just
shout, man.
sticking his back out. Sometimes these men are blocking Allison's view of the ball, you know.
When he's in that position, I guess he is, isn't he? Abdul says, "We don't have no competition for Bozo, Kanate, only injury prone Gomez." Yeah, we don't, unfortunately. That's why we have to address it in the January window, in my opinion. Bo says, I personally like Hooray Home very much. Defensive midfielder like Wharton. Scouser as well, very calm and good on the ball. Keep an eye, especially when Slot leaves. Definitely keep an eye on him. Definitely a name that I'm going to check out on. The whole club can hold the party, even God Khalifa gets sacked. Listen, I might have to jump on board. I might have to try and get some entry on that one because we might have to have a private party on it on this channel as well. I'll bring the shisha out, and just just have a proper celebration on screen because yeah, it's got to be done. Abdul says the fence is broken. He needs to go now. I hear it. NWA Clumpy big up. So he says I hear a lot of negative points on how Slot does things. What's the good things about Slot? Bloody hell. What's the good thing about Slot, Double D?
um, this is the thing, the same things that we said was the last season was the in-game management, but it's gone to
Yeah.
pot.
But that's
It's gone
gone
to
though, isn't it?
it's gone to pot this season.
Yeah.
This ruthlessness has gone to pot because that's what I was mentioned earlier. If you're substituting Joel
Mm,
Quansah in his first match against Ipswich for losing
yeah.
his aerial duels, then how the hell is Kanate getting away with these diabolical performances?
Mm,
So
true.
everything that was good about Slot last season
Yeah. It's not good
is
anymore
is
right,
not
or
here.
currently.
So I
Mm,
don't know what to say the. I don't know what to say. The positive is
Yeah,
because being stubborn isn't a positive. Not
I
reading
can't
the
think of a
room
positive.
is not a
Yeah.
positive. You get what I'm saying? Sometimes you're thinking, okay, you've made a mistake with the starting lineup. Make some halftime changes, and you still won't make the halftime
And
changes.
even his substitutions have been questionable this year, like the timing and
Very, very,
the
very,
personnel as well.
very,
It's not been right.
very.
So no, this season, honestly, I don't think there's been that many good things about Slot. But into the last year, I totally agree. In game management was better. He would make, you know, changes within the team during games more than anything else. His substitutions were well timed as well, in my opinion.
Yep.
That helped us get over the line on a number of occasions. This year, it's not the same. It's not the same spirit at all. So very sort of hard one to bring up a positive in that matter. But says he has a good style, like the way he dresses in games. That's the only positive. He's got a nice Adidas tracksuit on. That's probably the only positive I can say, isn't it? Honestly, honestly, that's the only positive I can say. With us not in the title race this season, my hopes are on
Oh, I'd
Sunderland
love
losing
that.
to City.
I'd
Oh,
love
that'd
that.
be
I'd love
amazing,
that.
Wayne. That would be amazing. Honestly, that would be amazing. Bo said maybe Chiesa can join the club in Ibiza as well. At the time when Slot is gone, Chiesa would be the perfect Klopp player. Yeah, he's built. He's built to be a Klopp player. That's why if they want to go with the interim route, I think Klopp is the one to go for. But we'll see how it goes.
Oh yeah, defo club player. From when Ozzy used to put my tweets up, Ozzy used to put my tweets up from when Chiesa was like 2021. I was saying, please,
Yes.
Klopp buy him. You get what I'm
Yeah, I
saying?
remember.
He's
I
the
remember.
exact. He's the
Mm,
exact that type of club player, like
mm,
industrious, um,
yeah.
energy, guile, etc. Press from the
Mm,
front and whatnot would have been perfect for the Gegenpressing thing because that's just gone out
yes.
the window, man. Like we're just
Yeah.
not you're not pressing. Like we're gonna have problems anyway because of the frailties in defence and the midfield. But if we
Yeah.
just pressed a bit more, like we pressed against Villa, and look how much trouble we got Villa in to a point where we've made Martinez give the ball away because they were shook about pass it out for the back, but still continue to do it. You get what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
mean, and then we've just abandoned that. We did it a bit against Madrid, and since then we just abandoned it again, and just letting teams just build up the play.
Yeah.
Like what you're not good enough as it is at the moment anyway, but you're handing the initiative to the team anyway because
Mm,
you're not like I mean, you're just not pressing. It's just like nothing that we do makes sense right about now.
yeah.
And every time, me like a fool, we play a game. And if someone asks me for a prediction, like Forest on Saturday, can you believe I said, don't we're trash at the moment. I think we'll win 2-1. And then we just get slapped. We just get
I said
slapped.
2-1 as well, ironically.
We
I
just,
said it was going to be a narrow win, but like we'll nick it towards the latter stages. Yeah, we ain't got no fight to be doing any nicking right now, to be fair. So
man.
yeah, that was a far fight. Well, that brings up to my next question actually. What is your score prediction for this game?
Do I have to?
It'll be
um,
done.
like a fool, one more time, I'm going to be optimistic.
Okay.
And I'm going to say 2-1 again. But I swear to you, if we lose this game, that's the last time I'm going to give that prediction for us because I'm doing this every week and I just feel like an absolute mug because I will see us start the game. We're going to play good in the first 10 minutes. And if we don't
Yeah.
score and they get the first goal, it's going to be back to the utter crap that we've been doing.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
diabolical. You never think us as fans, because it's making us sound privileged, won the league 6 months ago because we are so bad right about that. I don't think people understand it. It's one thing if teams win smash and grabs, but they're actually
Yeah.
coming and they're having other chances outside of the goals that they're scoring. So we're
And they're
losing
comfortable.
badly,
Mm,
comfortable. We're losing
mm.
badly, and you're sitting there saying it could have been more. This is disgusting.
It is disgusting. It really is. So you're going for 2-1. Um, I'm going for a draw. I don't see us winning.
Oh God.
Um, so it'll probably keep him on the seat for another few days. Because I'm not expecting us to win against West Ham. I'm going for a 1-1. So in terms of the goal scores, I'm going for Ekitike to score,
Yeah.
and I think Till will score for PSV. So yeah, let's see how it goes. But Um, Double D, appreciate your time. We've been live for over 3 hours now. So yeah, it's two
Um,
thirty six
uh,
in
we
the
could
UK
go.
right now.
Well, not because people need their beds, but we could go for another 3 hours because
You know
there's
what,
that there's that much to unpack.
bro? We had a lot to talk about. I have another agenda that was, we discussed before the show, but
But we're
it's far
gonna
too late. So
we're,
we'll have to talk
we're
another
gonna
time.
allow it. Oh,
Yeah,
the signings. Okay, we could do a separate. Yeah, yeah. The
yeah,
signings in the
we'll have
yeah,
to do it
separate.
just
Yeah,
because
a separate
I
thing.
think we'll be here until sun rises. So so, so we'll let it be for today. But Double D, appreciate your time as always.
Come on, man.
Please let the people know where to
Anytime.
find you and where they can follow you on social as well.
On socials, I'm at Double D on everything. So DUBULDW on everything. And I am part of the D&D. Oh, actually, on TikTok, I'm Dub D. So it's just DUB, just DUBD. And I'm part of the D&D Football Factory. We are at DD Footy Factory underscore on Twitter and on Instagram, and we go live every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. on Top FM. If you're in London, that's 95.5 FM if you're in London. But if you're not, probably the best reception you will get is either downloading the On Top FM app or whatever digital radio you use on your phone, app you use on your phone for radio. So Simple Radio, TuneIn Radio, or whatever. And yeah, we go live from 10 a.m. to midday every Saturday morning.
Big up as always.
Yeah.
When are you starting your wrestling channel? Because that's something we spoke about last time you came on.
I need to sort out an intro video, I sort out an
Mm,
intro video, and then it'll be going. So yeah, football, wrestling, basketball will be the
yeah.
main things. But there's a certain person I know, but he's not really. He's someone that helps out when we need someone for pods and that, but he's not really a YouTuber,
Mm,
etc. like that. So, and when that with him, you could anything could be covered: cricket, tennis,
mm,
darts, like
yeah.
anything. That's
Well,
why I wanted to have it as a sports network rather than
yeah.
just solely just doing football. But to be honest, things were good when I was putting the initial things in. Things are so bad now. I actually could just do it on football and come on and vent and cry every single day until we improve our flipping form. Because this
It's
shit is
true.
depressing me.
It's so
So,
true. It's so true. Bo, it's a fantastic show, guys. Love the long stream. Big up, Bo. Thank
I
you for
big up, Bo, brilliant
tuning in and thank you for staying on board
interaction.
until
Yeah,
from
man.
beginning to end. So yeah,
It's damn late.
it's late.
Wayne,
Winston, big up Ozzy, big up
big up,
Double D,
Wayne.
big up
Big
yourself,
up. Yeah,
and big
bro.
up to the chat as well. Yeah, so just a few shouts in terms of the chat because a
Yeah,
lot of you got involved here. So really appreciate your time.
yeah, we're good
Send
stuff,
your
man.
comments. Shout out to Ozen, Bo, Liverpool Anfield videos. Shout out to Daz, Liverpool 67. Brazy with your optimism. Appreciate you getting involved. Shout out to Musa. Shout out to JP. Shout out to Reno. Shout out to H. Shout out to Wayne. Shout out to Delulu Steve. Shout out to Clumps. Shout out, who else do we have? To Armour. Big up Armour. Shout out to AHLEC. Shout out to Kratos as well. And who else do we have? Shout out to Uncle Roz, of course. Big up to Uncle Roz as
Hey, big
always.
up Uncle Rods. Yeah, yeah.
Shout out to Abdul Rahim. Um, shout out. Who else do we have here? Shout out to Thriller from Manila.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, and I think that is it. So if I missed, oh, shout out to NWA Clumpy as well. Appreciate your comments and engagement. If I missed you, apologies. But yeah, big up to everyone for tuning in. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. In terms of upcoming shows, unfortunately, I will be doing a live watch along tomorrow.
but, but, but said, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, it's part of the agenda. But I can't promise that I'll be doing the full 90 minutes because if we're trailing and I can't continue to watch it, the TV will be off as well as the live stream. So
Protect your
I'll
mental
try my
health.
best.
Protect your mental health, bro. Protect your mental
Trust.
health. There is.
I will try my best to stay on and watch the game. If I manage to do that, we'll also have a match reaction show after the game. So if you'd like to call in, that is the show to do so. Feel free to come on, express yourself, whether it's about the game or on the slot or anything Liverpool related. Feel free to come on and have your say. But if you don't want to come onto the screen and speak out loud, please get involved in the live chat and let me know your thoughts and comments as well. So that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Take care, stay safe, and I hope to speak with you all very, very soon. Goodbye.